Sound check, 1, 2, 3, sound check. We might be live for the first time in about 45 overs. Once again, sound check, 1, 2, 3, sound check, 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Once again, sound check, 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, we are away and welcome to VCC Vorburg. It might have taken us 2 T20 internationals to figure out the technology, but we're there and we are finally able to talk about this mini series between Italy and Netherlands A. I'm going to be joined by a guest commentator in a moment in Piers Fletcher, but there is plenty to discuss on the Dutch cricket traps, 50 over qualifier around the corner. But right now we're at the beautiful VCC in Voorburg, and well, the Dutch A, they're off to a flyer as Nida Manuru wants to continue that flyer and absolutely pumps it over mid-on. They'll double back for a 2. Him and Musa Ahmed have come out the blocks this morning. They might double back for 3. Italian fielders a little bit sloppy here this morning, but yeah, they've raced out the blocks. The score's on 37 straight away. I'll show you what we've got today as well. We seem to be advancing the technology when we do get it right quite often. I'm going to cut us to our beautiful little side camera as well. That one's a little bit more still. If you do like motion sickness though, this is the one for me. Absolutely magnificent. It's a sunny day here in the Netherlands, and we're going to be excited to update you on everything going on in Dutch cricket as Nida Manuru still on strike. And he pumps that high. It's against the breeze, so it might not go. And it does hold up in the air. Someone's given him a bit of a message to get on with it this morning, because I think he's hit 6 or 7 straight over the top. Lovely shot for 2 more. And does give me a good opportunity to welcome in good friend, co-commentator and actual coach of Netherlands A, Piers Fletcher. Piers, the technology's up and running, and it's good to have you with us.
Good afternoon, Corey. 2 o'clock start. You've talked about being here in the morning. You were here with me this morning, but no, lovely to be outside. Beautiful setting, always is VCC, and yeah, tight game yesterday. But what Tommy de Groot's been able to provide us today, looks like an absolute belting wicket, and the outfield, as you've seen from the first couple of overs, Corey, is absolutely rapid. So no point in chasing it if it goes through the inner ring. Yeah, nice to see Taja Nidamanuru getting a run for us. You know, a real good focus, you know, for him is to continue to work on his versatility and adaptation as a batter, and sort of giving an opportunity to bat at the top here in the T20 today. And Musa Ahmed, who, you know, unfortunately missed out on going to the World Cup qualifiers, but gets an opportunity to open up today for us. You know, high quality player in his own right. So he's done a lot for us in the T10, and he's shown bits and pieces with the national side, but opportunity today in the A side to open up today.
Yeah, absolutely. And Musa Ahmed punches that one dead straight to mid-off, and he'll get through for a single. So, Piers, I'm going to let you have a little fun around on the thing. What are your thoughts on the cut one and back to the main action? It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's nice that we're slowly developing. So 2 cameras today, which is awesome. And it's just, you know, those small little bits and pieces that, you know, we're trying to continually upgrade our learning.
Yeah, well, we got there in the end, and I don't know what the message was for the Dutch this morning, Piers, but Taja Nidamanuru, he's off to an absolute flyer. And we'll get a bit of a recap on game 1, which was yesterday as well. We'll get your thoughts on that. As bowler comes in again, that is crunched, but no run this time. Hits it too well to mid-off. Yesterday was game 1 of the series, this sort of mini T20 series. And Netherlands A won comfortably. Just give us your little thoughts on the game, and maybe tell us the scores as well, because I'm sure some people don't know.
Yeah, batting first, sort of made quite hard work of it, to be fair. 130 all out off the last ball of the 20th over. Yeah, nice little sort of solid innings by Michael Levitt without being spectacular. So he opened up, you know, making 37, and Sebastian Braat coming in at 7 sort of rescued the innings a little bit with 35 of 29 balls. So that was good. from that perspective. I thought our running between the wickets was excellent. Really put their fielders under pressure on at VRA. So we were in Amsterdam yesterday, and it was, a decidedly larger field to play on. There was probably an 85-metre boundary to the leg side if you were batting from the Mulder end. So it was challenging, but very enjoyable at the same time. And then with the bowling front, we had them 48 for 8, and they ended up 88 all out in the 17th as Taja nips that one out to deep square.
Yeah, just another single. Yeah, no, it was a good game of cricket, but overall it's a bit more of a bowling day, it must be said. Hassan Ali, the Italian bowler, just trying to get his rhythm here. He's a tall left-arm seamer. Seen a lot of him on the ECS and ECN network overall, but it should be a good game. This just feels a little bit like a belter. The wicket's hard, the outfield is rapid. If you've only just started to tune in, I'm looking at 180 plus here, Pierce, as Hassan Ali comes in once more and flicked away to the leg side. Good bit of fielding for a dot.
Yeah, I think for the Italians to take a lot out of it. They've sort of been ravaged by unavailability and injury. I mean, Mead yesterday, their captain for the series, cut his webbing at backward point, so he's missing out today, which is obviously always disappointing. But this is a massive learning for them, and it's a great opportunity for our guys as an A squad to continue to improve and develop. So that's always pleasing.
Yeah, as it looks like lucky photographers jumped into the commentary box for a quick photo of yourself and myself, Pierce, and it does take us to the end of yet another over. And well, what a great start this is for Netherlands A, who have come out the blocks firing, and these two men have played a lot of international cricket of late, and they are already raced away to 43 off 4 overs. Thankfully the live chat is now open as well. And there's a little bit of commentary, Cam. Oh no, that one's not live. Go press cut now. And there you are. Yeah. There's a little bit of commentary, Cam. Pierce Fletcher, Corey Ruck is here to bring you in on a nice sunny day in Volvo. I was a little bit worried there. I thought I was going to be sitting here with no stream again. But we're back. So yeah, that one on the right is now live, and that's the cut one. So I'll even try the side one if you want, Pierce. As a new over starts and Musa Ahmed pushes that straight to the field. I'll give the viewers the side view because it's a little bit less wobbly, and I know some people don't like motion sickness. I'm a fan. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I think this is nice to cut away to when you need to, but I think from behind the bowler's arm is obviously the best way to watch cricket. So we'll be going back to behind the bowler's arm.
Do you get double overtime to be the cameraman as well?
Oh, look, I missed everything as Musa absolutely carves that great piece of great hand at backward point there, Corey.
I tell you, there's not many days when you're an opening batsman and you go out there and you walk up to a pitch like this in an outfield like this in Holland. This is motoring. And, for the Italians who have a big year ahead as well, Gareth Berg, their head coach, Kevin O'Brien, their assistant coach. We were lucky enough to have a chat with them yesterday. Obviously, this is just a little bit of prep for the ICC qualifiers. We know this isn't their full-strength team, but there's definitely 3 or 4 members out there that will be looking to put their hand up and potentially sneak into that final 14-man squad. Yeah,
and what an awesome opportunity for these guys. I mean, like I say, a high majority of the squad are Italian-based, so... the opportunity for these guys to come 1 and play on turf, 2 against a really strong Netherlands A side, and 3, the sun's out, is always beautiful.
Yeah, and there's a bit of funky batting there, a little scoop. It sort of plugs a little bit for the first time today, so he'll be able to rein it in. And Teja Nidamanuru helps himself get fit. So yeah, what you said there is correct. A lot of these players actually play in the local leagues in Italy. I've been there. I was in Bologna last year. To being frank with you, the facilities aren't perfect, but they're out there. They're trying, and now they get to come and play at beautiful VCC. Hosted New Zealand last year. A gorgeous ground on a hybrid wicket. The sun shining. What a great opportunity for the Azzurri.
Yeah, no, absolutely stunning.
As Nidamanuru chips that again. This one into a big pocket of space. There's a deep mid wicket, and they should get back for 2. Might be tight. It's a pretty good arm. And a slight appeal, but a big shake of the head there, 2 runs.
Yeah, Pim van Lent not being drawn in by the appeal. Good umpire. Nice to see him out there umpiring international cricket and having retired, I think, 3 seasons ago now from internationals.
Yeah, we've got our 4 officials today. I've got Adrian van Dries next to me. I've got Jacques also as the 3rd umpire. What's Jacques' last name?
Westerberg.
Westerberg. And then our standing 2 officials, Pierce?
Yeah, you got Nitin Bhatia and Pim van Lent, Corey.
Yeah.
I'm sure you knew that, but just tapping me to just let me just chime in for you.
The awesome foursome, they say, around Dutch circuit, these 4 umpires. Don't expect to see any mistakes today, and if they do, they'll hear about it because I'm about half a metre away from them. So what a good start this is for Netherlands A, and everyone on the YouTube chat. Sorry for the delay today, and if you do want to get any questions in about Dutch cricket, Italian cricket, or anything about European cricket, do feel free to ask. There's Nidamanuru on strike, and yeah, he crunches it. He gets enough of it, I reckon, and he does. Over mid-off, he'll get another 2. And Pierce, was there a message sent to Nidamanuru? Because I can't remember seeing him this destructive this early as the 50 partnership comes up off 5.
Yeah, Corey, I think, like I say, I mentioned at the start, the opportunity for him to come into the A side today. I mean, he's only playing today in the series. So his opportunity today is sort of to come in, and we want to give him a new role or an opportunity to test out a new role. I think myself, Ryan Cook, the national coach, and Ryan Van Neerkerk, part of the setup, just looking to check our options moving into that T20 World Cup next year. Tage was part of that World Cup 16 last year, but not actually in the official World Cup squad. But if he can continue to build his versatility as a batter, it makes him a far more selectable pick, doesn't it?
Well, he's 28 off 17 and putting his hand up, and I'll tell you what, there's a bit of Mitch Marsh about him. How he just goes out there. You'd be surprised how many players you get him in that T20 format, but give him a go at the top, and they relish the power plays. It does look like a bowling change. Di Bartolomeo.
Yeah, Di Bartolomeo.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
thanks, Vinny.
Yeah, look, you're always good with your pronunciations, Corey. But he actually bowled quite nicely yesterday.
I like the cut of his jib.
Yeah, and I like the short run up. It's quite it generally hits quite a hard length.
It's a little bit tape ballish. So he knows what he's doing. It's defensive bowling, but he executed quite well yesterday. Interesting sort of field, deep cover in place and deep mid off. So tempting Musa to maybe shuffle across and go leg side.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Musa does have a look leg side at some point.
Hard to look leg side when it's a metre outside off. But yeah, he's another man that wants to put his hand up. And this 51 run partnership now, looking pretty handy here for the Dutch. I do love the 2 different angles we've got. Fantastic indeed. As he does get it leg side. Boom shakalaka, that's 6. And well, it's 4. I've gone early, haven't commentated in a while, and what a shot.
Yeah, no, lovely
it's
shot.
It's not T10 boundaries, is it?
No, it's not T10 boundaries, to be fair. 60 metres square today, is what Tom de Groot told me, and a 77 metre hit straight from the batting end straight. So a really decent sized boundaries. Like I say, a little bit smaller than yesterday to the one side at VRA, but again, just an absolutely stunning facility and venue. So change of the field, the cover comes up and deep square leg goes out.
Yeah, and Musa bats accordingly and just runs this to short third man. Yeah, I got caught up in my T10 commentary there. As soon as it hit the middle of the bat, it's usually a guaranteed 6, but that time just the one bounce forward. What a platform this is right now for Netherlands A, who are looking to take the series today. A very comprehensive win yesterday. You probably felt maybe left 20-30 runs out there, but I thought the bowling group, especially Kyle Klein and Ollie Ellenbus, they were getting it through.
Yeah, and obviously Ollie's sitting out today, so I think what's great is we've got the opportunity to bring Alex Roy in on his debut for the A side. Really give him a good crack. So Ollie sits out today, and opportunity for Alex to come in.
Yeah, I like it as it's ticked around the corner for another one. So yeah, if anyone is in the chat, want to pick Pierce Fletcher's brain while the Netherlands A coach and leading them against Gareth Berg's Azzurri from Italy this week. And you know what I like? It's great to see these minor sort of nations that are on the cricketing map come out to the Netherlands as well and get to play on such good facilities.
Oh, spot on, Corey. We've we're lucky enough to. That looks close.
I think
maybe just outside of stump, Corey.
Not sure actually. From my angle, I actually thought it was sliding, but it's hard to tell.
I'd like to go to the replay, but unfortunately, we don't have that option today.
Well, you can go on the Comcam, and I'll give you the verdict.
No, I'm not going to the Comcam.
Click it. I'll give you the verdict.
He's got something. Oh, we'll go after this ball.
Yeah, go after this ball. It's Musa adjusts. He hits it high. He gets enough of it. That's going to be 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 4. What a nice shot from Musa. And I'm going to show you what that is. That's a 4 for kids at home. That's the symbol.
The signal?
Yeah, it's simple. Triangle symbol.
Yeah.
What a shot.
Yeah. Great end to the power play. 61 without loss.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what we call a coach's dream. You give Nidamanuru a go at the top. Musa, who missed out yesterday, now cashes in and Musa Ahmed probably a little bit disappointed not to make the 50 over qualifier squad. That's cricket, but good to see him come out here and show the right example.
Yeah, he probably struggled a little bit yesterday, and then that's understandable from time to time. But the attitude he's brought today and the energy he's brought today has been really, really positive. So keen to see how he continues to develop as a batter. Like I say, absolutely brilliant young man, excellent cricketer. So. Yeah, no, looking forward to seeing how he continues to develop and flourish.
Yeah, as the wind really does pick up here at VCC. It is a blustery day. It is good for cricket, though, I must be said. We had a very wet start to the year, but here comes on a man that I actually like a lot. Seen a lot of him, Kalagega, a tall right-arm leg spinner, has a good wrong-un, loves a double earring. He's a bit of a fashionista, it must be said, but he's a good player, and I think he's one of those 3 players out that could be a smoky for the qualifier.
Yeah, look, I think I like the cut of his jib, Corey.
Yeah.
Very skillful, quite quick through the air, generally. But yeah, quite a nice bowler.
And he comes for his first ball today, under the pump. And gets it right straight away, but obviously the field is spread. The mandatory power play of 6 overs complete. And, well, the Azuri, they need a wicket.
Yeah, it's been an awesome partnership between Musa and Taja to start. And yeah, like I say, it's an exciting opportunity. The opportunity to bring so many guys from our A squad that have been training, into competitive match situations is really awesome. So, keen to see how these guys go on. A big focus for us is trying to see these guys, make a start and then kick on with it. So they've got the opportunity today to do so.
Yeah, as he goes a little bit flatter and a little bit wider, and this is what I like about Kalagega. He thinks about his bowling. He's played a lot of T10 on the ECN network and now used a lot more in the T20 side. It saw them at Desert Springs last year, and right now he's got the wood over Musa Ahmed, who goes for one of his favourite slog sweeps, beats the bat again. Good platform here, though. I think Dutch A, you'd be looking at 180 plus, and you'd imagine you'd fancy your chances if you do end up on that Pierce.
Yeah, I think to be fair, pass score would be anything over 160. It looks really, really good. Potentially even more. That pitch is beautiful. I mean, Tom de Groot, probably one of the, higher level groundsmen that we have in the country at the moment.
Whoa! You're right. Sorry to interrupt you, Pierce. That is Moose. That is 6 big runs. It had been a pretty impressive over from Kalagega, but Musa Ahmed collected that.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal shot. He's been lining up the last couple of balls, but gets it third one. Spectacular shot. Now he's just got to continue to find those ones in between those big shots.
He does exactly as you say, Coach, and just runs himself a single. He's actually gone past Teja Nidamanuru, who came out the blocks the quicker of the two. Both these two players striking well above 140, 150. What a good start this is.
Yeah, it's been a spectacular start. Like I say, probably different conditions to what we had yesterday. Used wicket yesterday at VRA, just nipped a little bit, but today an absolute road. And seeing these two batters go about it, as that one's shoveled down the leg side.
Yeah, I think he's got a touch on that. I don't expect to see wides. This is going to be off the bat. Bonus runs for Nidamanuru, and Kalagega, who had started the over so well, ends up costing him 12. And at the end of 7 overs, it is 74 for none.
Yeah, expertly well negotiated by Taja there, and yeah, it's been a really, really impressive start. It'll be interesting to see how the Italians can line up against it.
Got a nice question coming through from Isaac. Isaac, how are you doing out there? You've been watching all the Pro Series games and all this as well. And Isaac's just saying, Pierce, thoughts on Saqib Zulfikar's form and the inclusion in the World Cup squad?
Yeah, Isaac, I think I've mentioned this plenty of times, either over the ECN network or even just, to people around the Dutch cricket community. But, I think he's probably one of the most talented cricketers I think I've ever seen, period. From New Zealand, Scotland, my time in the UK, and here in the Netherlands, I think as an all-round package, he's absolutely phenomenal. He is just such an expert cricketer with both bat, ball, and in the field.
Out well bowled, as that's just going to be shovelled out for a single. Would you say he's been a bit of a bolter? Did that 100 just get him over the line, or?
I think it's no. I think for Ryan Cook and Ryan van Niekerk, they obviously haven't seen a hell of a lot of him prior to the summer, and so now sort of having them around a little bit more. They've seen his potential and his talent. I'm just going to quickly duck out for one moment.
Yeah, I'll let you go for a quick moment, Coach, as I know you're quite busy and you've got a lot to do. And we'll continue with the action. Nita Manuru back on strike. That's gorgeously played, but as we know, the field is spread a little bit more now, so just the single. These two men have, well, pretty much coasted their way to 34 and 33 not out, 35 and 32 not out respectively. And if they keep this up, big scores on the card for the Azzurri from Italy. They'll be looking to try and break this partnership and just get the boys together in a huddle and take a deep breath. It's been a blistering start for Netherlands, eh? It's clipped nicely into a big pocket of space, and they'll think about two, but a bit of a yes, no, maybe, and they'll have to settle for one. The Azzurri do plenty of good things in the cricket sphere. They've 34th in the world at the moment, but they're off to the ICC qualifier. They are also playing in the Challenger Leagues, 50-over cricket, and they've also had a very good T10 team the last few years. They've made finals week twice on the ECN network, so the Azzurri doing a lot of good things under Gareth Berg, as that is pushed down the ground pretty nicely for a single.
It's Kevin Jim kick Walla Walla down there at long off, Corey.
Yeah, good player. Like his hair, like his talent. But yeah, I was just mentioning the Azzurri doing a lot of good things with the Challenge League. They're playing 50-over cricket around the world. The T10 team's made finals week twice, and under Gareth Berg, the T20 team, another ICC qualifier, the Azzurri, decent little side at the moment. They're up against it.
Yeah, nice delivery there by Di Bartolomeo. Yeah, no, Corey, you're spot on. It's they are a fledgling country. They're continuing to rise up the ranks, which is awesome.
Let's moose up, punches it into the offside for another single. Tell us a little bit more about Ellen Bass, not selected today. Thought he bowled very well yesterday. Is it just looking after his workloads, or what's the reason there?
Yeah, he's a cheeky young guy.
He's an angry young man.
He can be angry. He has been told, both by myself and by the match referee, to settle down with his antics a little bit.
There he is right there, just in the background. Hello, Ellen Bass. Yeah, I'm sure he'd be disappointed not to play today, but I thought he bowled extremely well yesterday.
4 for 9 yesterday, bowled really well. Just sort of managing workloads, Corey, today, so he'll miss out today.
Who comes in? What was the change?
Alex Roy in today. So
big fan of Big Roy, the Tower they call him.
Yeah, no, exceptional talent, and great to give that guy an opportunity. He's done really well for Kampong, probably holding them together a little bit at the moment. But yeah, like I say, promising young player.
As that one is a quick leg by, slight appeal, muffled appeal if anything. But no, it just shows the Dutch cricket stocks at the moment. I mean, this A team could take on some pretty good nations around the world. And Alex Roy coming in, I thought he had a fantastic second match out at VOC in the Super Series. I'm glad to see he's back in the lineup.
Yeah, nice to give him an opportunity. He couldn't travel with us on the A tour to Northampton, so an opportunity today to get him into the squad, which is great. Like I say, exciting young prospect. Only 24, and I think a lot of these guys are just sort of starting to get into their primes as cricketers. In terms of learnings, experience, all these little bits and pieces all make a difference. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Kalagega, mate, in the middle of a pretty decent spell, despite getting a little bit of tap, and that could be out. Oh, it's a huge appeal. And I don't think it's being given leg by. Yeah, it will be, so maybe going down the leg side. But despite being hit for that big 6 and a boundary down the leg side, he has none for 14 off 1.4, and he's looking the most, dangerous Italian bowler at the moment.
Yeah, he is. He's a good bowler, and then the partnership between himself and Bartolomeo have been, been quite handy there. This just held the rate about 9s, which it was up at 10s, 10.5s for a little while.
As we'll get you back on that straight view now. It's gorgeous though. I'm a big fan of it, Pierce. The cutting out in, it's nice. The viewers all mentioning they're loving the look of this ground.
Yeah, no, it's a stunning venue, and like I keep mentioning, Tom de Groot does a brilliant job over here as Tay just sort of cuts that out to the deep cover.
Yeah, just the one again. So very good over this from Kalagega, mate. And that does take us to the end of another over, and the score at the end of 9 overs is 83 for none. Isaac asking my thoughts on this squad. I think it's quite good, Isaac. Obviously, a lot of talent, a couple of new faces in there, and I haven't had a chance to see Scotty Edwards yet. I think he might join us in the comms a little bit later, and might even have Ryan Cooks come back from the IPL. So, well, I'm sure we'll pick their brains on the squad, but it's a good team. It's just going to be a hard qualifier. I don't think that any team goes in there and can put their hand up and say we're favourites to get through it. Even Sri Lanka and Windies, it's not going to be easy. Let's see how it goes overall.
No, you're spot on, Corey. It's any of those qualifiers are challenging. Obviously, you missed quite a few county guys due to the T20 blast, which is always, always disappointing or challenging. But nonetheless, the experience gained through the Super League, a high majority of that squad has, has that opportunity. So yeah, very exciting opportunity for a lot of guys that are Dutch based.
Yeah, give it to the Azuri here as well, just in the background. Just pegged it back a little bit. I know they were probably a bit shell-shocked early from the Nidamanuru onslaught, but I think they're holding their own. If they can take a wicket here, get some fresh blood to the crease, I'll still believe. Wasn't their day yesterday, but we saw some pretty good signs. Fortunately, technology didn't help us with the commentary yesterday. Musa Ahmed checks that one into the leg side. He'll think about 2, but I imagine that, they will get 2. That's a bit of sloppy fielding, Pierce.
Yeah, used to the boot by Hassan Ali there. Big tall left arm quick, but look, good piece of running though. Likes to see Musa run hard. It just puts pressure on the fielders.
Comment coming through from an old friend of ours, an old stalwart of Dutch cricket, Dutch international, Julian de May, as we know him, Fifi. He's asking for Kyle Klein to be promoted up the order. Coach, yay or nay?
Look, on this one, I think Julian's got, ever improving cricketing brain, but this just proves that there's still more improvement to be had.
I think it's the old RBS loyalty.
Yeah, could be. No, I don't. We were very lucky to have Shariz Ahmed in the side today, and he's his big focus today will be around having a bat, so he's going to slot in at number 4 for us today as the boys run a very quick 2.
Yeah, very good batting, just touching it onto the edge of the inner ring, and they get back for a second. But yeah, Julian de May plays his cricket out at RBS, debuted versus Nepal many moons ago. Thought he gave a right effort of himself, and RBS in a bit of trouble in the top classer this year, but they were trying to sneak out of that bottom 4, but we'll talk about that a different day.
We've got plenty of time to talk today, Corey, so you never know. Might come up in conversation later or tomorrow, because we'll be back here again.
We'll be back as Musa smokes that. A little bit hard for the fielder at cover there as it bobbled over his arm, and that's a lovely pick out up there. Great fielding, and they do get back for 2.
Yeah, good piece of running. Like I say, ball goes past that inner ring fielder. Those boundary riders are going to have a lot of work to do. So,
question.
Yes, go for it.
Is this the quickest outfield in Holland at the moment? So I haven't seen something this rapid in quite some time.
VOC also up there. Renee Van Eerschot's been cutting that 6 times a week and twice on Sunday. So it's also quite quick, but this is very, very hard at the moment. Just a week without rain and you just see what can happen.
And they do get another 2. So Teja Nidamanuru and Musa Ahmed enjoying themselves out here at VCC Vorburg, where we hosted New Zealand last year. And at the end of, a pretty exciting first 10 overs, the score's none for 92.
Yeah, 92 without loss. Great partnership put on between these two. And they've just sort of realised now that the boundaries, are sort of just dried up a little bit with those 5 guys out. So big focus now turns to that running between the wickets and putting pressure on those boundary riders in between those boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to keep the runs ticking along. And quite a nice little turnout today as well. A couple of older Dutch stalwarts walking around the field and enjoying the sun and the cricket. As you just mentioned, we'll be here again tomorrow. For anyone that doesn't know, it'll be the conclusion of this mini-series.
Yeah. Morning game, so 11 o'clock start tomorrow.
What time does that mean we're leaving the house?
Probably 9 a.m.
I'm out. That's a bit early. I'll have to talk to my agent about that one, as it looks like Kalagegame is going to get a 3rd. He's been the most impressive of the Azuri bowlers so far. Got to love their blue kits. That is one thing that needs to be touched on. I think they've got one of the best international kits in world football and cricket.
Yeah, no, I do like the blue kit. I would like a little bit more of a red stripe somewhere through there. Though.
Okay, I get you.
But, exceptional kit.
Yeah, Nidamanuru on strike. Crunch, and this is where those 2s will come into play. If it's a little bit of a bobble, they'll go, but no, good fielding out there, and just the one. Nidamanuru's raced on to 39 of 28. Musa Ahmed 43 of 34.
Yeah, 40 now for Teja after that single, I'd expect. But nonetheless, he's batted really nicely. Great opportunity for him. Nice to bring him involved in the A squad. He's heavily involved with the DCA, the Dutch Cricketers Association. So for him to be around some of these guys in the A squad who potentially doesn't see as much, I think is also a real positive. On top of his opportunity to bat here.
Yeah.
And it's great to put a partnership on with Musa. Two guys that have played a bit of cricket together, cricket against each other. So yeah, nice to see this partnership continuing to grow.
Yeah, and we're right in the middle of the Dutch season, so they're getting plenty of practice as Musa Ahmed crunches a long slog sweep. That'll be one bounce for. He looks like he's winning the race to the 50. I was going to say Vinny Pierce.
No, Vinny ain't here, mate. I think Vinny's on holiday at the moment. No, you just got me. Sorry, mate.
My apologies. Force of habit and everything like that.
No, of course. Lovely shot. And I think this is sort of now time where you've got 10 wickets in the shed and 10 overs to go. You can afford to put the foot down.
Did you see the score yesterday? Sussex second 11.
Yeah.
320.
324 and 20 overs was a bit ridiculous.
It's a little bit of a worry, that.
Yeah, if you're Middlesex seconds, not your day.
If you're a fan of bowling in an even contest, that is not the cricket you want. That was an absurd scorecard. As Musa Ahmed on 47, make that 48. That's really good fielding. Thought it might have been his 50 as the wind really picks up. Just the one run there.
Yeah, Kek Walla Walla there in the field at 45 there, Corey.
Yeah, one of the taller players for the Azuri. We'll keep you on a little sign view for this one. Gorgeous ground here. Manuru seems to have crunched everything since he's walked out there. Gets a single. That will get Musa Ahmed back on strike. So team score 99 for none. Musa 48. Couple of milestones coming up.
Nothing to add there, Corey.
Don't have to. Sometimes the sound of silence is fantastic as Musa punches it into the leg side and goes a little bit finer than I first thought. Picked up there for a single. And that's the 100 up. And I don't reckon the Dutch boys, they have noticed now. So there's the 100 up. And if you can hear some clapping, that's from the commentary box of Piers Fletcher. He's very happy with the 100-run partnership.
Yeah, no, splendid opening partnership. Really set the tone up front. Tajer sort of took the ball by the horns up front, and then Moose has just been able to sort of just get himself in. He played a couple of nice shots early, but then he's been able to sort of flourish once these fielders have gone out and really kicked on. Awesome partnership. This is how sort of innings are sort of meant to be built. We'll see how they can push on to and what we can look at as a team score.
Well, 54 balls left. Let's say 2 a ball. Take up to 208, and that's a pretty big total. As it does look like there's going to be a bowling change to Silva. He's going to come into the attack. Tall right arm seamer. He's got his work cut out because he's got 2 men at the top of their game right now. The wind dies down a little bit, which is fantastic as well. 49 for Musa Ahmed. Make that 50, maybe 51. No, he'll settle on 50 and he'll get a warm round of applause. So Musa Ahmed's 50 has come up of 39 deliveries. He's batted magnificently and maybe a little bit disappointed not to be going to the qualifier, but great to see him here today and scoring a very important half century for Netherlands, eh?
Yeah, awesome for him, and I think just really, really good for his confidence. Like I say, a really talented young batter, only 23 years old. He's got so much scope to improve, Corey. He'll continue to be in the setup, and like I say, really cool for him to get a 50 today. Just want to see him kick on and take that score into a big 80, 90, potentially even 100.
Yeah, absolutely correct. There's Nidamanuru back on strike, and I've got a very random question that's come flying through. You'll enjoy this, Pierce, as Nidamanuru punches that off the sort of front stool, and they'll think about 2, but just the one. Question from Julian DeMay again. Since Christian Vieri, the Italian football star, loved cricket more than football, which Dutch athlete would you guys love to see in this side and in what role? That's a goodie. I'm going to go Mark Overmars, and I would love to see him as a fielder at deep square leg because he was quick. That's all I want.
Okay, interesting. I thought you might have gone Virgil.
Nah, I'm off Virgil. That's a beautiful late cut by Musa Ahmed. Just opening the face, using the pace of the ball. It's dived over. Probably should have been stopped, but he'll get 4 for his troubles. Yeah,
excellent batting. Just continuing to watch the field. So for those on the live stream, it's obviously quite difficult to see the field, but third man up there with with sort of like this what we call spinner's field, so deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long on, long off.
T20 field, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a general T20 field. So, the gap there between backward point and third man and was sort of played very nicely, and that's forced the bowler to change to go round the wicket.
Yeah, 4 runs. I'll let you have another ball to think about what Dutch player you'd like to have playing this team. That is spliced and gone. First wicket will go, and a celebration. You can understand the Azuri needed that. 54 off 41 from Musa Ahmed. A very good innings comes to an end.
Yeah, splendid innings. Really, really pleased to see him, get back in form after sort of probably a little rut. So yeah, awesome 50. Would have loved to see him go on, but nonetheless, he's set us up for a really, really big score.
Yep. Did you refer to little rut? Yep. As the wicket does go, and well, overall, a very good innings. There's a new man coming to the crease. It looks like it's Noah Kroos.
Yeah, it is Noah Kroos. Also selected in the World Cup squad.
I saw that. So, backup keeper selected. I think a lot of people out there be, who's Noah Kroos? What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, young Victorian as well. So he's based out of Victoria in Australia. Really, really good young batter, wicketkeeper. He sort of come to VCC. He was at VCC 2019 season.
Does he play in the same division as Captain Scott Edwards?
He does.
Okay.
He does indeed. Yeah. So they both play Premier grade cricket over there. He's now based, here at Vorburg. So this is his home club here. But yeah, really exciting talent. I know Heino Kun, our assistant coach and batting coach for the national squad, is really impressed with the way Noah goes about his cricket. So big focus for him is to continue to improve. One as a batter, but two as a as a fledgling keeper as well. And try and put some pressure on Scotty as well, and sort of give him that support on tour. So going with a proper reserve keeper now as opposed to potentially a makeshift or none at all. So yeah, exciting opportunity for him to 3.
Yeah, and here's his first ball, and he plays that beautifully into a huge pocket space. This will really push the outfield because that could go. It does go. What a shot. There's a big pocket of space there. He just flicks it off maybe middle and off stump, and he gets 4 for his trouble.
Yeah, it's one of those difficult decisions to make as a captain here. You've got, you could put the third man out, but I think, they probably quite quickly understand that third man probably has to come up and the deep square leg and deep mid wicket go out just to be able to give more coverage.
For me, I don't see first ball there. I think mid off has to be up. Maybe you're dropping fine leg back. If he's going to come out and he's first ball straight over mid off, you shake the man's hand and say well done.
Yeah.
Either way, he's 4 off 1. What a lovely start for Noah Kroos, and he's going to pull that hard, and they do move that man a little bit finer. And tell you what, I'm not too sure the name out there, but he's been doing a lot of work.
Yeah, I don't have his number in front of us or what number he is, but nonetheless, good end to the over. Lost the wicket in there, but 1 for 1.
Yeah, what's the old tradition with that? That's the Nelson, isn't it?
That's Nelson, so it's 1
David
foot.
Shepherd started that, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. No, 1 foot off the ground.
One of my favourite umpires, David Shepherd.
Yeah.
Who was your favourite umpire?
Yeah, it's a tough one, Corey. Like like Dickie Bird's before my time. You know what I mean? So I'm sort of thinking, was it like a Darryl Hare, who was quite a controversial character?
Not too sure you can say that. Apologise to anyone out there in Australia.
Yeah, maybe. What about Daryl Harper, Corey? Were you a Daryl Harper fan?
Nah, I was. Look, Steve Buckner was probably the OG.
Look, and we've all got one of the great stories about him, about Yalta Schoonheim as well.
No, I'll give you 12 seconds.
No, we don't need to talk about it, but just one of the legend umpires. I mean, obviously Venkat as well. Venkat.
Yeah. Simon Taufel. Simon Taufel was gun. Remember Ahsoka De Silva?
Ahsoka De Silva, yeah.
Terrible umpire.
Horrific umpire.
As it looks like it's going to be Pratuvi is going to come into the attack. Left arm off spin. Good luck to him today as he lands in a pretty good area. Noah Kroos going for his favoured sweep shot. Just the dot ball. But luckily we have 4 very good umpires here today though. We don't have to say anything about that. They are fantastic. Especially Jarks, who's come on the scene out of nowhere.
He's very focused. He's not even listening to us.
Shot again. He's pulling out that sweep shot, Noah Kroos, and gets himself a single. I'm sure his family have been on the phone all morning and congratulating him with his selection. And also Nida Manuru, who will probably bat more down the lower order for the Dutch team over in Zimbabwe, but I do like the look of him at the top in these T20s.
Yeah, it's like I say, I've mentioned a few times, but it's just cool to sort of see him come out here and be quite free, and he's sort of getting into his work now in these middle overs.
As he pushes that into a big pocket of space, I'd be surprised if they don't get two. They will get two. Good aggressive running, and just good game awareness from the two Dutch men out there. It must be said as well, yes, there's 50 over qualifiers on the horizon, but also T20 World Cup next year, Pierce.
Yeah, look, it's all coming together, isn't it, Corey? It's very, very exciting to see, so much cricket ahead for the Netherlands squad.
Well bowled. Nice comment coming from James Jabez. I'm not too sure who that is, James. Saying, no one told me the top 5 ECN commentator Corey Wright was calling the game today, so thank you, James Jabez. And top 5s are generous.
Yeah, James, it's lovely to hear your voice. Lovely to see your comment in there as Nidabanu goes to the air.
And just the single. We show James that we've also got a couple extra cameras today, and well, for people that don't want to watch it from straight on, we have deep third man on. Also a very favoured view of most viewers out there.
So we'll go back behind the bowlers.
Yeah, I think that is the number one, is Cross still on strike. And a little check into that leg side. This is such good batting. I'll tell you why. They don't get the two, but there is in the middle of a T20, if you can be dropping the ball on that inner ring with soft hands to get two, it's an art as it takes us to the end of yet another over. 13 overs gone, and Dutch A flying 1 for 116.
Yeah, it's been an excellent start, hasn't it, Corey?
Piers, tell us what you do outside of cricket. Everyone knows that you do a bit of commentary, you do coaching, you've just bought a house in the Netherlands. Tell us a little bit more about you, Piers.
Look, Corey, I'm happy to say that the Netherlands is home. It's sort of taken a really exciting opportunity here with Netherlands A, and also sort of leading the Netherlands under-19 setup and under-16. So it does keep me busy. Very exciting. To sort of continue to step up into men's cricket.
Nice.
Spent a lot of time, obviously, with youth setups in the past, but the opportunity to step up into men's cricket and to continue my sort of growth as a coach has been really exciting.
Lovely words there from Piers Fletcher as Noah Cross just punches that one gorgeously down the ground, and I'll just get the one. Isaac in the chat saying Vivian Kingma maybe hasn't had too many wickets at the start of the season that he's used to seeing on the stats column. Any reasons for that, or is it that's just part of cricket?
One, I'd say it's part of cricket, Isaac, but two, I think sort of the side that Voorburg have assembled this year is one of great depth.
Oh, no ball. Let me spot it. 3 in the ring.
3 in the ring.
Great.
Third man outside the ring.
Yeah, well, there you go. Great work from the officials. You've got cover, point and 45 finally in the ring. Third man had trickled back, and I tell you what, the officials today, the best 4 in the Netherlands, have got it right, and that's going to be free hit time.
Yeah, Di Bartolomeo hanging out there at deep mid wicket, but it was the man at third man, Hassan Ali, who was just snoozing a little.
Yeah,
and didn't come up for the set batter, so Taja will definitely not be minding this at all, Corey.
Tell you what, when you're on 44, now if my math serves me right, 6 gets you to 50, you get a free hit, you get this. Bang! That is huge! Holy cow! He's hit that a mile. That's onto the athletics track.
Yeah, I remember standing here last year watching Finn Allen bat, and I said the exact same thing. As he goes to 50, does Taja Nidamanu.
Well, get a towel and wipe off my sweat, because that was big.
He's got that high as well. It's gone with the wind. Stunning shot.
250s at the top of the order, and that's a kookaburra turf that's lost in the other field. I'll go searching for that soon. There's 80 euro plus coming to my federation, but what a shot. And really, if you're a batsman right now, 50 not out a few hours ago, this is party time. Taja has a license to really open up. To Silva, how does he respond?
I'll just jump back to that Isaac question, Corey. Just saying, they're so strong. The VCC side. Shari's Ahmed's taken a lot of their wickets this year. He's taken close to 30 wickets already in the top class.
Ridiculous, as that is crunched into the leg side. It's going to land in a pocket of space. They'll go 2 though. It's a big boundary out there. Good throw though, all the way to the keeper's end, but another 2 for Nidamanu.
I think Kingma as well quite nicely up front for there, maybe taking more of the big wickets.
Yep.
So maybe if you go back and have a look and go see the quality of wickets he's probably getting top order batters out and probably not getting the opportunity to return for second spells very regularly. adding Ryan Klein to that lineup, they're very, very strong.
Shot. I don't know what's in Tage's bat today, but sounds like a bullet from a gun. There's a missed field out there. We'll get them back for yet another 2. Do you think we'll see some of the Dutch nationals today? I know that they've had training this morning, come down to support the A-team.
Yeah, I know the coaches are on their way. They're always keen to watch more cricket, and they also they're living close to VCC, so you definitely see Ryan Cook and Ryan van Niekerk later on this afternoon at some point. Whether or not there's anyone else floating about, you never know. Scott Edwards might pop his head in as national captain.
Short, and he doesn't get it. He sort of scuffs it, but it still lands in that pocket of space out there. It might even go for 4. And I tell you what,
Di Bartolomeo's coming with the slide tackle.
Well, the Azuri, take me back to World Cup 2006. Lucas Neal, he didn't foul him, and I'll never forget, but that is an unbelievable slide tackle. They didn't make the last World Cup in football. That is a great bit of foot fielding. 2 runs.
Yeah. And good running between the wickets, and I like Tage trying to take it on now.
This is licence time, is it? Let's have a look. He's 56 off 38. You're seeing it like a football. Have some fun.
Chris has got your answer for you in there, Isaac.
And he doesn't get it. This should be out. He's going to make good ground. He's going to get there, and he shells it, unfortunately. He should have caught that. He went to ground, and Noah Crowe sits back and says, nope, we'll take the 1. You have the strike. End of another over. The Azuri on the fence at the moment. It's 131 for 1.
Yeah, Di Bartolomeo sort of going the reverse cup there, Corey. Sort of gets yourself in quite an awkward position, especially when you drop to ground with those knees. You've got no room to give.
He just went a bit low. He just went a little bit low if you're going to go reverse cup. And well,
tough break for them because he actually bowled quite well there in that over. So
it must be said here as well for the Azuri. This is a bit of an experimental side. There's maybe 2 or 3 names I recognise. We played them in a T20 series at Desert Springs, and Grant Stewart and Compiano all came out, and they were an elite side. It was a really good T20 series. Obviously, some new faces here that are probably under the pump more than they've ever been before, but don't count them out just yet, as it's going to be more left arm off spin. And Taja moves across, sweeps it well, but he picks out 45 and just the single.
Yeah. I like the look of this bowler here, Corey.
Yeah, it's Pratuvi. He's Pratuvi.
Samaraj, I think it is.
Yeah.
Pratuvi Samaraj.
Samarage,
yeah.
Yeah, and that's well played by Cross. And this is what I mean. This is that touch game. I think maybe Taja, I imagine, is blowing a little bit now as well. He's been out there the whole time.
Yeah, 14 overs. I mean, what time do we start today? He's only been out there an hour. I'd hope he'd be able to sort of push back for 2, but nonetheless, it's not probably the worst thing to have him on strike and try and take down the spin.
Yeah, exactly what he tries to do. He crunches it dead straight, but just the single. Oh, well, Noah Crowe's very good running. He was alert. He realised the fielder was taking a little bit too long, and he gets back for a second. That's just one thing that you can control, running between the wickets. Great to see these 2 really pushing it. I still think 200's on the cards here if someone goes big at this back end.
Yeah, you just need that one big over, that one 18 run over, and that 200 score is well within reach.
Another one. I think that what's helping Prufty here is if you are to try and take him on the leg side, the wind's blowing from left to right on your screen, so not easy to clear it over that leg side boundary. And there's Kroos, who's got himself to 9. Pulls out one of those favoured sweep shots, and that's a nice looking shot. It is in the gap, but good mopping up out there. And he's moved himself to 10 off 8 and playing a good little second fiddle innings here.
Yep, just got to keep getting off strike. Let Taja do the heavy lifting. And then at some point, I'd probably say in the next over or 2 is time to sort of really have a good dip at it.
Good over this. Just that no boundaries conceded, and he'll get away with a full over of no boundaries conceded. He can hold his head up high. The over actually only goes for 7. Good over for the Azuri, and at the end of 15, it's 138 for 1. Isaac with another question. Isaac seems to have been watching a lot of Dutch cricket lately. Because Pierce, what's the chances of seeing Ross de Braak playing for the Dutch in the future?
Yeah, Isaac. Look, I think quite likely if he wants to make himself available. I think things are just a little bit difficult probably for the qualifier in this instance. But yeah, look, it was nice to have him over here for the first Pro Series game. The first 2 Pro Series games. Obviously, the first one at VRA was rained out, but Yeah, look, I think it's good that we'll have him around, and you never know. We've potentially got some other fixtures settled or scheduled at the back end of the summer.
Really?
So
Can you divulge?
No, not at the moment because nothing is confirmed, obviously. But look, hopefully we get him around, and like I say, talented cricketer.
Oh, has he got enough? He hasn't. Kalagegame out there takes a really nice catch. I first thought when Teja Nidamanuru crunched that was going to sell for 6, but he's one of the better fielders for the Azuri. And Teja Nidamanuru will have to go for a splendid 62 off 44.
Yeah, comfortably under the ball and literally didn't move. And sometimes you sit there and go, that's a bit panicky. But he was comfortably under the ball and, yeah, quite comfortably taken in the end.
So both openers dismissed now. They've done a lot of damage though, and you look at that lineup for Netherlands, plenty of good batters. And let's talk about this little man coming out with a big heart, has to be said, and a lot of character. You got to love his spunk. Is Shariz Ahmed, as Teja Nidamanuru gets a very warm round of applause. But little Shariz Ahmed, been fantastic for the national team, and you've seen a lot of him over the last few years. Gets promoted to 4. Tell us why, and tell us a little bit more about him.
Yeah, an exciting opportunity. I've said that a couple of times today, Corey, but it really is. So Shari's main focus today is on his batting. Probably expected him to face more than 5 overs, but nonetheless, a great opportunity for him to slot in at 5 and slot in at 4 for the last 5 overs and do a job for us. An ever improving cricketer. Spent January and February over in Cape Town. At the Gary Kirsten Cricket Academy, and himself and Ari and Dutt have really their batting has skyrocketed. So, yeah, exciting opportunity to see him rock out at number 4 for us today and see what sort of score he can bring us.
One thing I know about little Shariz, he'll run hard, and him and Noah Kroos are going to try and run the Azuri ragged here. Gets off the mark with a single, but hey, Shariz Ahmed, I'd love to see him come to one of those T10 tournaments as well at the end. I reckon he'd be a really good player.
Yeah, we weren't far away from getting him for the 2021 finals week, I think. And then I think something came up because we didn't end up... Oh, no, we did bring him for the T10 finals week that week. He was
a bit younger then. Feels
yeah,
like he's come on a lot.
He was, and he was probably trying to bowl his Yorkers. I think if you remember rightly, there should be 2.
Well, they might get 2. Kalagegame is a very good fielder, and I mean good, but unfortunately this time, just a little bit of a fumble, direct hit. So there is a warning sign. Kalagegame at deep mid on, showing that he has the ability to be good running for 2.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this little partnership here. I think there's going to be some cheeky runs taken.
I've been impressed by Noah Kroos here. He's just quietly got himself to 12-9, but he's done everything right though. He's been running well. Probably hasn't had the boundary ball he'll like to accelerate that, but I like the look of him.
He's a really nice batter to watch. Generally hits the ball in really good zones. I think a big focus for him moving forward is the power game. Generally a very good time of the ball, picks up the short ball nicely, but sort of that full ball and trying to be able to hit those 4s and 6s is probably a good focus for him in terms of being able to really leap on those opportunities.
So 141, 26 balls remaining in this first innings. Toes that, doesn't get it, out to that man Kalagegame once more, no fumble this time, and pins the stumps again. There's another warning shot from Krishnan out there, number 99, he's back, 2 direct hits from the boundary, never easy.
He's a good fielder, good little cricketer is Krishnan Kalagegame.
Good to see Chris Schinkel in the chat as well, speak to Chris quite often. He's enjoying himself watching this game at VCC Vorburg, and if you're in the area, do come on down. Admission price today, Pierce?
Absolutely nothing.
Beautiful. Free.
It's free.
Bring your kids.
It's free cricket. It's
bring
free
your grandma,
international cricket.
Kids, grandma, dog, cat. Bring it all. It's lovely chip over cover. They'll definitely get 2. No question about that. Just getting that over extra cover, and they'll get back for the 2. So Shariz talking about his work, and well, the Azuri, they did get the openers. They're trying their best to peg this back. It's 2 for 144 after 16.
Yeah, no, splendid start by the boys. First 16 overs have been really, really strong. Just interesting to see how we go about these last 4 overs.
Yeah, I mean, best case scenario, if you can go 2 a ball, it's going to get you up to 192, and you'd fancy yourself with your bowling attack. And it sounds like the heavy roller will come on for 5 minutes during the innings break.
I think that was the light roller for 5 minutes.
Well, and there is a bit of cricket pedigree coming in. It's Ryan Cook and Scott Edwards, the coach and captain. Well, I think that we might get Scott Edwards on for the last 5 overs of this first innings. Pierce, thank you so much.
Well, it's a good thing there's only 4 overs left, because if there was 5, we might be looking at 200.
That was going to be my first question to him. Thank you very much, Pierce. Good
Thanks,
luck for the rest of the game.
Thanks, mate.
Yep, you heard it here first, as Noah Kroos is going to tickle that one around, and we're going to sneak him in for the last 4 overs, as that's going to be back for 2. Good aggressive running, really good aggressive running. So we're going to sneak him in for the last 4 overs of this first innings, because there's plenty I need to talk to this man about. Good friend and captain of the Netherlands. Only 4 overs, Scott. It's good to see, and we are live, so great to have you here, Scott. And I'm sure you've had a very busy day, as I'll get you up to speed with everything here. Kroos. Oh, well, it must be a sign from the heavens above. Scott Edwards, welcome to the commentary box. Take a lean forward, we're in the mic. A reverse Malachi, one of your favourite strokes. How are you?
Yeah, better now, yeah. That's the first ball I've seen for the day. And yeah, I'm quite happy to leave now.
Yeah.
Seen that, and yeah, good to go.
Yeah.
Lovely to see.
And on cue, Rod Kroos, his father, who's watching in the Middle East, says, hello, gentlemen, and he's pretty happy with how his young man's going. And congratulations, Rod, who Noel was picked, as he's going to double back for 1. But talk to us a little bit about the squad. We've had a lot of questions coming in today. Super exciting for some of the new boys, Levitt and Kroos. Tell us a little bit more about them.
Yeah, obviously Noah's played a year over for VCC a couple of years ago. Did quite well as well, and he started this year with a fair few runs, and he's obviously a very handy gloveman. So yeah, pretty happy to have another gloveman in the squad for the first time in a while, I suppose. And then yeah, Michael obviously is, I think, had 4 centuries since the start of the year. Plus, obviously.
Oh, what a shot from Shariz Ahmed. Well, elevated to number 4, inside out over cover, 4 runs, good batting. Continue on, Scotty.
Sorry, again, lost for words. It's beautiful bat. Yeah, and obviously offers us a little bit with the ball as well. So, but yeah, you know, we're pretty happy with the squad we've put together. You know, it's obviously a lot of young fellas, but also a mixture of a bit of experience around it. So, you know, as I've said, you know, we sort of know the conditions over in Zimbabwe, what we're going to get, and you know, we've tried to pick a squad according to that. So,
yeah, this one down the leg side and just a 1, yeah, and right on cue again. Rod Kroos saying very happy to see Noah playing with Scott again. So tell us a little bit about that. You 2 guys played together or against each other?
No, we were together actually.
That's
yeah.
quite a bit of a story, isn't it? That you 2 are now going to be potentially, if he ever makes his international debut, and going to play together again for a nation. It's quite phenomenal, really, and I think he's been very good today. He's 20 off 14. He got the good news last night, and he's batted really well here against the Azuri. Now a little lap, Malachi. He knows you're in the commentary box, Scotty, because that's one of your favourites, and this outfield has been rapid, and they might get 3. Fantastic running. We've talked about these 2 a lot. That is something that you guys are trying to instill as a nation. You want to be aggressive like that.
Yeah, aggressive batting and aggressive running between the wickets. Two big things we sort of want to hang our caps on a little bit. So yeah, nice to see, and hopefully we've got 3 overs left here.
Yeah, and look, we're going to put you on here. So say hello to all the viewers. You're live. Yeah, there's Scotty Edwards, and he's been fantastic. You've been training this morning, Scott?
Yeah, had a quick training session down at VRA, and we've just grabbed a little bread roll on the way back, and here we are.
Yeah, I've snuck you straight in as well. I could tell those bleary eyes.
I'm a little bit frazzled, but always good to have you in the box.
Well, to be honest, we've got everyone asking about the squad and all the cricket going on. We missed out on the commentary yesterday, so everyone's a bit excited to catch up today, because it's exciting for the Azzurri of Italy to be out here as well, as they've got the qualifiers coming up, and we start a new over. And Kroos, Flickingtons, they'll think 2 here, and knowing how quick these 2 are, they'll get there quite comfortably. Tell us a little bit more about the T20 stuff, because with a lot of people saying, oh, you've got 50 over cricket coming up, but a lot of people don't realise you are already going to India next year. This is why these T20s are so good for the A team.
US and the Caribbean, Corey. But,
yep, thank you.
Yeah, you were close.
It's sunny.
Yeah, obviously with the direct qualification, most of our focus has been around. Most of our focus has been around 50 over cricket coming into these qualifiers. But yeah, obviously there's still that little bit of focus, for what is it now, 12 to 14 months away, the World Cup. So we've obviously been having conversations about what we're looking to do and how we want to go there and how we want to go about it. So.
Yeah, fair enough. And that could be out, and it will be out. So Noah Crowe's trying to go over extra cover that time. Doesn't get it off the middle of the bat. He'll be dismissed for 25 off 18. A good little innings, but does come to an end. And just another wicket for the Azzurri, who, to their credit, I'm not too sure how much you saw earlier, after a 100-run opening partnership, have done okay.
There you go. Haven't seen anything, so this is my
So
first
I'm just
sort of over.
For those who are joining us and have, just like Scott Edwards, but Tasia Nidamanuru elevated to the top with Musa Ahmed, and both batted splendidly. They put on 100 inside 11 overs, both with 50s, and then we've seen Shariz Ahmed come out there, and Noah Crowe with a good 25. It looks like it's going to be Boris Score will come in, and plenty of people in chat. Mirko Agnelli, watching all the way from Johannesburg, South Africa. Come on, Di Bartolomeo, Forza Italia, give us a shout. Well, hello Mirko, hope you're well and hope you're enjoying all this cricket from South Africa. We're live on the KNCB YouTube as the wind does pick up. And you can see there the camera just bobbling everywhere, and that's our little side-on view today.
Oh, nice.
Just in case, because if you can look at the front view, if you like motion sickness and you like cricket, well, you've come to the right place. When it gets windy, she blows. So we don't want to do that to all our wonderful viewers. And if you hear a big roller in the background, it's all hands on deck today here at VCC. Beautiful looking ground, and at the moment this has to be the fastest outfield I've seen in the Netherlands in years, as Boris Score, his first delivery. Wow, inventive, doesn't get it. He'll go first ball, and well, you look at the scorecard, and with 15 balls left, Scotty, fine leg in the ring. Thoughts?
Oh, if it's your shot, it's your shot.
Yeah,
I think there's obviously 3 wickets down.
Yep.
Put a little bit of pressure on. It is against the wind, which probably might deter me, but no, I don't mind the intent. You're obviously looking at boundaries here. So
it's one thing I know about Boris, he's always thinking team game, and if he's thinking I can get this first ball for 4, that's all he's thinking. And wasn't his day today, but for the man with the ball in hand, Khan, he's got 2 in 2, and he's going to move on to a hat trick, and well, he's going to have a chance against Levitt, who's playing in probably a more non-familiar role of down the order. Big news for him today, getting selected into that national squad. Very excited. I had a private word with him before, and he said his friends and family from around the world have been in touch. So what a good day it is for him, and now he's up against a hat-trick ball. Life's a leveller. Here we go. Hat-trick delivery here in this T20 fixture. It's not a bad one, and he jars it out. Jars it out well. Shariz is quick, but not quick enough. Just the single. Tell us about your national practice then. So Netherlands A here today, but tell us a little bit about what your morning's like and what do you guys do each week. So you train quite a lot, don't you, as a nation?
Yeah, sort of, 3 team sessions plus a couple of individual one-on-ones. So yeah, the option of training 5 days a week. Most guys are probably at that 4 mark, I would have thought.
Yep.
But yeah, today we're out at VRA. Obviously not as many players as we usually would have, because a few of the guys are obviously playing in this A fixture.
Slower ball, back of the hand. He skews it over backward point. He's got quick wrists. And watch this outfield, Scott, because it's 4. It is motoring. This is almost Wacker-esque. Another boundary. Musa Ahmed gets himself onto 12.
Playing club cricket here on Sunday. I'm pretty excited about
I
this.
dare say you should be, because this is rapid at the end of another over. Double wicket over for Arkan. The score is 170 for 4. 12 balls remaining. They've done well, the Azzurri, to keep this under 200 after a slow start. But yeah, plenty of training. And you have to admit, obviously you're the national captain, so you're overseeing quite a lot. How good is it to have the A team play so many fixtures? We were just talking about Germany later in the year, Guernsey, Austria, all playing the A team.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the more fixtures we can get into, you know, some of these younger guys and some of these fringe players, yeah, the better it is for us. Obviously, trying to bridge that gap from club cricket to international cricket with these A fixtures and the Pro Series games. So,
yeah,
you know, if guys can, you know, put their names forward with some big performances in these sort of games, it goes a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. More cricket, the better. Danny Vandam in the chat saying you should come to Salond because that's the quickest outfield in Holland. He's saying. Got a funny story about that, Danny. As that's pushed into the offside for one. So this was my news today, Scott. Haven't seen you in a while. Got a message today that the Centurions ground for the VOC 2s this weekend's not available. So they're sending us to Daventer. So I'll be there Saturday. That's what I woke up to. And I haven't come back. So I'll be there, Danny, and hopefully it is a quick outfield.
There you go. There you go.
As we get to the last...
You want to get runs. It's a long way to go for runs.
Don't say that. As we get to the last, I was going to say 11 balls, but that's good match awareness from Levitt. He'll go on a slight misfield. So a wide and one, and looking at maybe 190 plus. Also, with the qualifier, we saw the fixtures have come out. So you've had a look at those. Tell us your thoughts, and happy? Or is there just is what it is?
Yeah, well, if you're going to qualify, you're going to have to play all the best teams. So it doesn't really matter if you get them in the first or the second round. Obviously, the ground venues is probably one thing we look at.
What did you get? So is it you guys in Harare or dot ball? Oh no, they'll sneak through for a bye.
Yeah, we're in Harare for the first round. We play our first game against Zim at, I think it's called Queen's Club, the main.
Oh yeah, nice
main venue.
Yep.
Yeah. So there'll be a big crowd there for that one.
That's a good way to get the juices flowing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That's quite nice,
Absolutely.
that.
And then after that, I believe we are at a club ground, or
Yeah, just a bit more of a local ground for a warm-up.
more of a local ground. So I don't know a whole lot about that. We'll do a little bit of research into what games have been played there and average scores and all that sort of thing.
That one off the pad, and well, this outfield's quick. Kalagegame is one of the better fielders, but this outfield is rapid. He's rapid as well, though. Good fielding from Krishnan, and he'll keep it to two-leg buys.
What have you said's the average score here, Corey? Or the par score?
180.
180.
180. The Azuri admittedly aren't probably at full strength. Gareth Berg and Kevin O'Brien have said they're trialling a few faces, but there's still a lot of talent in that team. I think for the Dutch, they'd be pretty happy. And a question come flying in. A couple of questions just before we lose you for the rest of the afternoon. And first one from, good friend of yours and teammate, actually, national teammate, Scotty, from Julian DeMay. Scotty, rolling out the slow left armers this weekend. And for people that don't know, you bowled on the weekend.
Shouldn't surprise too many people, I wouldn't have thought. There's a few top-class wickets in that pocket.
Do you want to name them?
I won't name and shame.
Yeah, well said. That could be close. It's going to be one bounce four. I look to square leg, and no, little Ninton says that is a bit shorter than waist height, so we'll get four.
It's always an interesting rule, that one. I would prefer go on the
ECN now,
on the
go the other
batting
way.
side. Yeah.
If there's any unsureness, well, you're a batsman, so I can understand. But also, you're a bowler. So, do you want that to be a no ball or not?
As a primary batter, I'd like it to be given, yeah.
But will you be bowling on the weekend? We need an answer. As he hoiks it to the leg side, as Scotty's lost for words. Little fumble, they'll go two here. Yeah, good alert running. Really good from Shuriz Ahmed. He'll get back for a second.
Yeah, the bats my back's actually pulled up pretty sore from 8 overs on the weekend, so that might do me.
Can I give you a scenario?
Yeah,
we're in Zimbabwe.
Yeah,
you've hit 300 as a team, and you've got USA 2 for 240, and your bowlers are bowling terrible, and Noah Cross is playing in the field as a fielder, and everyone's bowling terribly. Do you at any stage don the ball and drop the pads and say follow the skip? Is there any scenario ever that we see you bowl for the Dutch?
I can safely say no to that one, Corey.
Okay, as that takes us to another end of the over. It is now moved on to 179 for 4. 6 balls to go before we go into a bit of a 20-minute turnover for the break. Had a question come in from Isaac. What additional match practice do you have in the lead up to South Africa? Is there, obviously you got 2 warm-up games there, but is there anything else you're doing here, or is it just hit the nets and hit some outdoor sessions? Or Isaac wants to know, how do you get...
Good question.
Isaac's been all over it. He was asking plenty of questions. Yeah.
We have a few fixtures coming up in the Netherlands, I believe, potentially next week against the travelling side. So I think there's a couple of T20s and maybe a 50 over game there. And then I believe we are in Johannesburg for a little warm-up camp.
Nice.
Not sure exactly how many details I'm allowed to give out. So
Okay.
I assume you can.
Okay. No, it's also
But
good.
yeah, we should have a fair few fixtures coming up before our first game.
I think the answer is you've got plenty to get yourselves prepared.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where, but
Match practice, it's the best practice there is. So.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's start the last 6 balls of this first innings. Shariz Ahmed, shot. Well, that's from the old playbook, that one. I'm a huge fan of a splice over point, as point is usually in the ring. You see a lot of teams sometimes now go with third man in and point back, but that's 4 runs to Shariz Ahmed, who has moved to 23 off 11. And I have to say, Scott, his batting
Unbelievable.
it's just, I reckon in maybe a 14 to 15 month time span, has picked up massively.
Yeah. I think
He was always handy, but he's improved a lot.
Yeah, he's always been sort of crafty with his hands, and I think he's just picked up a little bit of extra strength. So yeah, some of the shots he's bringing out here,
Again, quick hands, but this time gets it a bit more forward and just a 1. And well, if you think you're having a bad day, and there's a few people in chat saying they need 13 or 14 off this last over, and Sonia Minto thinks he's lost 20k. So not good indeed. Yep.
It's a rough day.
A lot of people watching this game, and I can understand. It's great to have an international country come out and play Netherlands, eh? There's Italy. The Azzurri have fought well. It hasn't been easy for them, has to be said. Levitt.
Where's he going here, do you reckon, Corey? Straight down the ground?
I think Levitt's a bit more conventional. It's going to be through the V. Well, he tried. One of those funny ones sometimes, a low full toss isn't the worst option. Bit of yes, no, maybe. Big dive and just the 1. Yeah, sometimes a low full toss, people think, oh, it's a full toss, put it over the rope 6. Not easy. If you're not going square with it, it's actually hard to pump straight. Right at the back end of this first innings, it's going to be more than a competitive score here for the Dutch side, the Dutch A side, that is. They've got plenty of bowling. Kyle Klein, looking forward to watching him again. He bowled exceptionally well yesterday. What can little Shariz Ahmed do at the back end here? Back of the hand slow ball, and he gets it. I tell you right now, Scott, that was a back of the hand slow ball, and he has generated a lot of pace off that.
Yeah, for a small man, it's a rather big 6, that one.
Man, it is a big 6.
Onto the Kingmar Hill.
Yeah, that's if people don't know, that's Vivian Kingmar and Jack Kingmar's father's house over there on the leg side. And what a shot! I mean, it is just, as a captain, you want more options, and you've now got a little left-handed batter down the order that runs extremely well, can hit it around 360, and also bowls these little leg spin top spinners.
An extremely good fielder as well.
And that is going to be 4 more, I reckon. He's got it over cover, and it will be. So Shariz Ahmed putting his hand up in front of his Dutch captain saying, hey, I don't need to be 8, 9 or 10. You can get me up there. He's moved to 34 of 14. 1 to go. Silence is usually a good sign.
I'm lost for words.
I can understand. You've had a big day. Thanks for bringing my bottle back as well. So last ball, well, 4 would mean 200 would be required. 6 would make it over 200. Last ball of the first innings, and it's high. Now this is going to be some catching. Looks like points coming around. Doesn't get there in the end, and they should get back for an easy 2. And what a fantastic first inning. Scotty, thanks for joining us. I think all the viewers want to say good luck at the qualifier, and all the best.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure with you, Corey.
Thank you very much, Scotty Edwards, national captain. As you can hear, the heavy roller will be going around in the background, I'm sure, to get the hybrid wicket ready for the second innings. So the Netherlands A, they end up on 197 for 4. Teja Nidamanuru, Musa Ahmed, both with 50s, capped off by Shariz Ahmed, 36. Noah Kroos, 25. We'll be back in a little over 20 minutes for the second half of this one. Do join us back for then. Goodbye for now. Hello and welcome back. We're at the halfway stage of this T20 match between Italy and Netherlands A. Looking forward to seeing how the second half goes. We got to witness some pretty destructive batting in the first innings, 196 made, and it was a very impressive opening partnership by Teja Nidamanuru and Musa Ahmed that helped get them up to that total. And overall, it's going to be tough for the Italian side, who have come here with a little bit of a more inexperienced lineup, and seeing how they go to try and make these runs. And I'm sure they'll enjoy the valuable time at the wicket. This is our little side-on view. A little bit more still. The wind has picked up quite a lot here at VCC Voorburg. Last year hosted New Zealand here. Looks like Kyle Klein is going to be opening the bowling to Farina and Nakvi. And we're almost set to go. Deep fine leg in place. And deep third man as well. So Kyle Klein bowled really well yesterday. His first ball of the run chase. And for the Azzurri, they need some boundaries early. Here we go. Down the leg side, and there was a bit of an appeal. I don't think it hit the bat. I think it's just a little bit of pad as it went through. So dot ball to start. For the Italian side, not much to lose here really. Just be positive and see if you can get a couple of boundaries away. If you can get off to a good start and put a little bit of pressure on this Netherlands A side, you never know. But 198, yeah, that's a pretty tall order. This time on drive, missed time to Musa Ahmed, who does the mopping up and overcooks the throw, but well backed up there from Teja Nidamanuru. Kyle Klein playing his cricket out at HBS this year and doing a pretty good job is what I hear from all reports, and seems to have picked up a yard of pace this year. He'll be looking for a couple of early breakthroughs at the glorious VCC Voorburg. Once again, well bowled and just pushed to the left of mid-off there, and I think that's Boris Gorlay doing the mopping up. So single and first run off the bat in this run chase. Plenty of pressure on Farina and Nakvi. I haven't seen too much of these two. I do know the Italian sort of high-performance squad. The Spanish side played them last year, and we've seen them a lot in the T10s on the ECN network. So it does seem like a few new faces have been given the ticket in this little week of cricket here in the Netherlands. That's well bowled. Really well bowled from Kyle Klein. Good little bit of rhythm. So the question will be for the Azzurri, what is the right time to maybe take a little bit of an educated risk and see if they can hit some boundaries? I think Teja Nidamanuru did it a lot in that very first innings. So that's well defended again. So Kyle Klein, good start from him. Only the one single. There's a stifled appeal off his first delivery down the leg side. Good learning curve here for the Azzurri, who obviously don't get to play too much cricket on turf in their home nation. Not many pitches in Europe actually have turf facilities. I think the Netherlands and Spain in continental Europe are the only two that I can think of. Shorter ball this time and maybe missed out on. Could have been put away, but he does miss out, and that will just be a single in the end. So one run off the first. Dream start this for Netherlands 8. It'll be interesting to see if they go to spin early again. Netherlands, they do sometimes employ Clayton Floyd to come bowl some left arm off spin, but I reckon we're going to see the tall Roy. And Roy plays his cricket out at Kampong. Got to watch him at VOC just, I think it was last week actually, in the Pro Series match. Thought he bowled exceptionally well. tall Dutchman, and one to look out for the future. Right arm fast. As we have a look at the field, and it looks like it's going to be deep third man and deep cover as the two boundary riders to start. Got a slip in place as well, so televising that he'll be bowling it outside off stump and a little bit of away swing. Here we go. There it is, there's the edge, and just falls short of Teja Nidamanuru, who gets a hand on it, so they'll just settle for the single. Nice start from Roy. Gets it in the right areas, but just short of Teja Nidamanuru there. So yeah, it's a wide third man and deep cover. Roy does get it to go away quite a bit. So the Azuri playing within themselves at the moment as that's pushed into the offside just for a single. They won't go back for the second. And thankfully, it does seem like I will be able to welcome in a guest commentator at the end of this over, which is very exciting. I'm sure we'll try and get him on camera as well. That's well bowled, and yeah, that's pretty well played. I mean, if you're not going to hit the boundary, you've got to make sure you're ticking it over. There's a couple of people in the chat saying the bouncing cam is making them dizzy. Well, you've come to the right place. Sometimes you can't beat the elements, and it's a bit of a blustery sort of day here. I'll have to check the weather radar tomorrow for the wind, and we'll see how blustery it is. As it looks like Netherlands A on the attack a bit. Wide second slip and a gully now. And that's a huge outside edge. He tries to play across it, balloons into no man's land. They'll think about two, then I reckon a good throw here could be in trouble, but no, they'll get back comfortably. So Roy getting that big arching swing, trying to loft it on the leg side. And look, I don't mind it. I think for the Italian side, I'd rather see them go down swinging here than meander their way to 110 or 120. Be brave like that. Toe ender though, and it lands right in front of Teja Nidamanuru. He's missed out on that. No one deep on the leg side. Any bit of wood off the middle would have flown away. So nice start this for Netherlands A, who are in control at the moment. There it is, and it's a similar sort of ball, and the noise off the bat sounded fantastic. That should be the first boundary in this run chase. It is the first boundary in this run chase. Nice shot from Nukvi, gets one that he can work with. It takes us to the end of 2 overs, and the score at the end of 2 is 10 for none. As I welcome back good friend, co-commentator Fletcher Pearce. Pearce, I'm going to hold the mic because it's windy.
It is windy, Corey. It has picked up at the start of the second innings, but nonetheless, good to be out here and good to be with you, Corey.
Well, yeah, it's good to have you in for your second stint today. And, well, it's windy, it's sunny, and it's a day for cricket. 197 overall. You have to be happy, Coach.
Yeah, no, really, really good. Shari's Ahmed sort of putting the icing on the cake at the back end there. I thought he batted splendidly. I'm sure Scott Edwards was waxing lyrical, as they would say, about his innings. Yeah, looked awesome. Really, really pleased with the score. Probably 15, 20 above par, probably, in terms of the actual surface. But yeah, we've batted nicely, and now time to do a really good job on the field.
Yep, absolutely. You've done the hard yards of Netherlands A, but let's not count out the Azuri just yet. I know they'll have another players that want to step up and have a good game here. It's going to be Clayton Floyd to bowl the third, usually used quite early with his left arm off spin. Got a couple of arm balls in there as well. He'll come in now. That's a bit flatter straight away, and well, respectfully played, and they'll scamper through for a single. I think for the Azuri, I'd like to see them have a go here as that wind really picks up. It's like on the main camera, it's almost as if you're riding a wave.
Oh yeah, it is properly breezy here. It's definitely picked up this afternoon.
That's well bowled and just pushed into the offside.
Yeah, nice to see Clayton get into the attack early.
He's handy with the new ball. He's very handy with the new ball. Oh, what a shot that is. He gets under it. It's going to clear mid-off just. And well fielded in the end. Won't go for 4. They'll get back for an easy 2. But inside out, over mid-off. That's the intent I'd like to see from the Azzurri.
Yeah, good shot. Really, really nice zone to hit, especially with Clayton. So trying to access that offside. Yeah, good start.
Yeah, very nice start. I mean, they haven't lost a wicket early, and we know yesterday they did lose a couple straight away. You've got to be brave in a chase of almost 10 and over from the very first ball. Oh, and he's bowled him. Well, it's a bit of a nothing shot in the end. It's that arm ball skidding through, and, well, you have to wonder, what was he thinking? He'll have to go. That's Nakvi. It didn't look like the most beautiful cricket stroke you'll see, but clever bowling from Floyd.
Yeah, very skilled campaigner, Corey. Again, another guy that's been added to that World Cup qualifier 15. Yeah, really exciting left arm off spinner. Sort of had to bide his time in terms of the setup with other left arm spinners ahead of him. But yeah, like I say, showing his class there.
Yeah, showing his class, and Nakvi has to go for 8 off 10. He'll be disappointed, but does bring in a crowd favourite, Pierce.
Yeah, Kek Wallawa.
Yep, Kekwalawa.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, he'll have a bit of work to do as well. I know that the Azzurri probably haven't had the tournament they would have liked so far. This mini 3-day T20 bonanza, but you never know. We had Scott Edwards in before, and the questions were flying in for Scott.
Well, it's understandable. He is he's a captain of this country. He's pretty famous in these parts.
Yeah, good to see some of the national team come down. There's Wesley Baracely and Ryan Klein in the background as well, watching and coming down to support their compatriots. As Floyd, who usually picks up early wickets, has 2 more remaining in his first. Oh, slight appeal, a little bit of bat pad probably. There's more stifled appeal than anything.
Yeah, doesn't really leave the stumps much, does he, Clayton?
No, stump to stump sort of left arm off spinner. That breeze really picking up, and well, it goes for a sweep shot. It's not the worst option. No deep backward square in place, more of a forward deep square, and they'll scamper through for a leg by. So good start this is for Netherlands A. The end of 3 overs. The score is 13 for 1.
Yeah, sedate start, obviously losing a wicket, but yeah, like you say, Corey, you'd love to see the Italians sort of, from a neutral's perspective, sort of show a bit of fight and someone to get in and go big. I mean, the pitch is definitely, really good to bat on. The outfield's quick, so get in some good positions, hit the ball hard and see how you go.
I've been impressed with this man. He bowled a pretty good first over, and I was just talking about his pro series, but Big Roy from Kampong, got a bit of time for him. He's big, he gets the ball to go, and I think that he's got a long future ahead of him, Pierce.
Yeah, he's an exceptional talent, like I say, doing a lot of work at Kampong, but got the opportunity now in the Netherlands A setup. So, yeah, like I say, probably about 10 Ks to probably add to him. Just build him up, get him a bit stronger. But again, a lot of the raw attributes there, nice and tall, swings the ball nicely. Quite a good fielder for a big man. Likewise, he scored a few runs on the last couple of weeks, about 110 runs over the last couple of days.
Yeah, big man
he's
bats.
batting at 4.
Wow.
So he's been batting at 4 for Kampong the last couple of games.
I'll tell you right now, he's asking a few questions of this Azzurri top order.
Yeah, I love that length that he bowls, and because it's just a little bit fuller, it's that sort of that Morne Morkel length.
Yep.
That sort of slightly fuller, but because the guy's so tall, it's a little bit heavier than you think.
And I think Netherlands A are up for the kill here. They've got a 7-2 field, only 2 men on the leg side. If you're a batsman and you're brave enough, any little lap or anything that you can get leg side will probably go for 4. Not easy to do though when he's bowling such a good line. Oh, that's a misfield, uncharacteristic from Netherlands A. They might get 3 as a result if they're quick enough, but no, they'll settle for the 2.
Yeah, Kyle Klein probably going for the all or nothing play there, trying to make the run out. Not probably the option. Kekwalawa was quite a long way down. You found your water bottle there, Corey.
Yeah, found the bottle. It's popped up last minute, which is good for everyone and good for my hydration levels. So 15 on the board now. Punch straight. A bit of yes, no, maybe. So another dot ball, and That's what I mean. I know that 197 is probably only a 5 to 10% shot at the start of the chase, but would like to see them be brave here and not fall too far behind the rate. If they can go 8s even, just to maybe keep a door open. But this sort of little prodding isn't going to do it, and that's a yes-no, and I think a direct hit there might have been out. Really good bowling this from Roy. Can't take anything away from him. You got to be brave in these situations. I know it's tough, national selectors and coaches watching, but got to get motoring here to the Italians. That's a better looking shot. Handsome drive. I like the intent. A bit of yes, no, maybe again. But they will get through just for a single. It takes us through to the end of a bit of a sedate over. Roy, he has good figures. 2 overs, none for 12. And Italy, 16 for 1 after 4. Ooh. And, well, if you wanted to know the weather, it is fantastic today. It's a little bit breezy, but the sun is shining. And overall, after a very wet April, it has come good. And you can see just the beautiful cloud covers over the top. It's like a painting almost. And that is my second skill as we get back to the action there. Piers Fletcher having fun with the cameras, and can't blame him. Might be a bit of a slower afternoon in this run chase unless someone gets themselves going. Floyd to continue. Thank you very much. Floyd does what Floyd does best. He gets it full. He gets it straight. It's a poor looking sweep across the line. And unfortunately, a second wicket goes. And exactly what we probably didn't want to happen for the Azzurri is happening. A lack of intent, and the pressure builds, and then the loose shot comes. Piers Fletcher, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, again, from a Dutch perspective, excellent bowling. Clayton, like I say, very, very straight up and down left arm spinner. Doesn't get a lot of turn. Generally relies on his variations, sort of that quicker one that sort of slides back into the pads. So, yeah, really nicely bowled. And, yeah, the Italians go 2 down.
Well, Piers, while you're playing a bit finicky with the cameras, how about you show our lovely viewers what the commentary tent, not the umpire's tent, looks like? We've seen us. Why don't we show them a little bit of what the match referees look like? And there they are. They're doing a great job. The sunnies are on. They don't give us much. There's a wave. And Adrian van Dries and Jarks out there, and they're watching the game astutely and ready to tell the umpires out in the middle if they've made any mistakes. No, he said no. Well, they haven't made any mistakes, and so that's good news for the umpires. They've been fantastic. That's good just to see everyone in Dutch cricket out there to help each other. They get to sit next to us all day and listen to us talk, which is, I'm sure, mind-numbing, but also fun.
I'm looking for the 6 going good. Doing mistakes, mate.
Oh, and I reckon that's going to be potentially out. Stump, no. Going to be a wide in the end. Down the leg side. Noah Cross, quick hands. Gets back just in time. It's Kalagegame who's come out to the middle, and this is a man I got time for. I think he's very talented.
Yeah, look, he fielded and bowled actually quite well in that first innings. Probably the shining light for the Italians. We'll see what he can offer with the bat.
Yeah, I hope he gets in. I've seen him play some destructive innings if he gets himself in. And Kibosh. I've put the Kibosh on him. It's a ball with a little bit of width. He tries to go over mid-off, and actually that will be a golden duck because his first ball was a wide. And the Azzurri, well, disappointing here, has to be said. They're 17 for 3 now. They're a better team than this. And Netherlands A, though, good catch from Boris Gourlay.
Yeah, excellent catch. Sort of read that one quite nicely. That one earlier in the previous over from Kyle Klein sort of just kept travelling just out of distance there. That one flat and hard, and he took a couple of those yesterday and back in the action again today.
Yeah, must be said, Clayton Floyd as well once again gets the good news of the call-up to Zimbabwe, and he's rewarded the national selectors and coaches who are watching with 3 for. And not often you get to smell a Michelle Pfeiffer in a power play, or let alone a T20. But he does have a good opportunity here.
Yeah, really nicely bowled again. Just sort of that slightly tossed up delivery, just tempting the batter in early. Yeah, very nicely done.
As I look over to the umpires, and do they have an extra phone charger? That is the question. And it looks like they might be able to help us out, which is super helpful as I can keep up to date on the scorecard.
And just give me your thoughts on Musa Ahmed's innings today, Corey. What were your thoughts?
Big fan of Musa. Big fan. Good player. Batted well. Got it out the middle. And, well, him and Teja Nidamanuru just took the game away. Here we go. Floyd again. Well bowled. And, well, let's just talk about his figures at the moment. He has 3 for 3. All the threes. And it doesn't necessarily mean he tries to spin the ball too much. But what he does do is just ask the right questions over and over again. The man with the MVP watch from the ECN. Thoroughly deserves it. I'd love to see him bowl that really slow one from time to time as well. But right now, this is great news for the Dutch A side who are on top. And that's a Chippington, and that's going to just go for Sebastian Bruch. Shariz Ahmed's lightning fast. Must be the quickest in the Dutch setup. He'll be able to keep it to 1 at the end of another successful over. It's not over. There's still 1 to go.
Your counting needs improving here, Corey, but
yeah, I missed the wide. Missed the wide.
That'll get you. It'll get you from time to time.
Last one this time, and thickish inside edge that will scamper out to Teja Nidamanuru. The Dutch A squad are all over them. They've played a lot together, this squad, and you can see why. What a little spell this has been from Floyd, who has remarkable figures of 3 for 4, and the Azuri are 18 for 3.
Yep. Just falling behind the game a little. We're going to see another bowling change, Corey. It looks like Kyle Klein coming back into the attack.
Oh, you've got us on the commentary cam there, and I've gone the old looking at the phone.
Yeah.
Unprofessional. That is rule number 3 in commentary. Don't be looking at your phone while you're on air.
No, it's tough though. We are in a position where we are having to use phones and devices to check scorecards, but we don't have it all in front of us here, unfortunately, at KNCB Networks.
I think it's one of the better setups, though. If you think it's a frog box mixed with some umpiring cameras, and we've got 3 different views, and I reckon it's actually quite good.
No, it's ever improving, and I can only say that it has been very positive, and it's great to see the sort of effort that's going into trying to stream these games. You know, in the past we've probably had low budget or no budget for these sort of fixtures, so yeah, like I say, exciting opportunity to get all this out on the interweb.
Yeah, and quite a lot of viewers have tuned in as well, as it looks like Kyle Klein's coming from the Randwick end now, and that's been pushed straight to cover. Could be out for direct hit. Nope, he gets back, and Kyle Klein's impressed me, Pierce. He seems to have picked up a yard and seems to be at the top of his game.
Yeah, speaking to his brother earlier, and he's very envious of the rhythm Kyle's found lately.
Envious, is it?
He is envious. He is sitting here over on the stand.
Interesting to hear that. Is that just a typical brotherly competition, or is there more to it?
Yeah, you never know. There might be a little bit more to it, but yeah, he's bowling nicely at the moment. Very, very pleased from an A-side perspective.
It's well bowled, yeah. He does have some good rhythm. I mean, there's been so many famous brothers out there that have played. You and I, well, let's rattle off a few. The Flowers, fantastic. Andy and Grant Flower from Zimbabwe.
Yeah, they are 2 of the better ones. I'm a big fan. Hamish and James Marshall. Yeah. Again, identical twins.
Yeah.
And brothers.
I mean, look, then the big kings, Steve and Mark Waugh, other brothers that played at such a high level for many years.
Yeah, there's been plenty floating around the traps, Corey, that's for sure.
Kyle Klein in once more. Digs it in. Good bowling, good zip on this hybrid deck. And yeah, go on, continue on for the viewers out there that want to know about all the brothers.
Just quickly, how nice is the hybrid played?
Good.
I think it's an ever improving sort of way that we can continue to use more turf wickets. And speaking of Tom de Groot, he's very, very pleased with the way this one's come up. Just having to think about other brothers.
Little Shane and Brett Lee.
Yeah, I was thinking about Mitch and Sean Marsh.
Yeah, it's a lot, fair few in Australia actually. I've got another one for you, a little bit more obscure because they played for different countries.
Oh, here he comes.
James Pattinson and Darren Pattinson.
Darren Pattinson.
Didn't he play one test? He bowled it backwards.
He didn't have a great one. I can't remember who it was against. India or Pakistan?
Not sure, but yeah.
Something like that.
Bit of brotherly love, and look, I mean, we've got one run in front of us, Musa Ahmed and Shariz Ahmed.
Yeah, 2 absolute jets. That's for sure.
Lovely message coming from Sirisan saying great addition to Frogbox with the different cameras and the commentary taking it to another level. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Digs it in, bit of bat on that. That might race away. It's a fast outfield, and you bet it does. Patrick Delata will do the fielding out there. Let's see his arm. Pretty good, actually. Not bad. 4 runs for the Azuri, and they needed that. Added to the total.
Yeah. Yeah, nice little shot there. Sort of Kyle going back in for that sort of shorter ball. Not as short, because I believe the first one was called one for the over. So just trying to go chuck him up in that back of a length zone. But nicely sort of whipped on its way.
As the wind sort of dies down and the baking sun comes out. Good for everyone involved. Oh, high. This should be out. He doesn't get any of it. Oh, lands in a big pocket of space. A bit of luck that time. Another bouncer. And not called. And that will be the over complete. Another good over overall for the Dutch, as the score is 23 for 3 after the power play.
Yeah, good power play for the Netherlands. There's always a stat rolling round about the fact that 3 wickets on the power play and you go a long way to winning the game. So,
probably the 197 on the board reinforces that stat.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, really good start. Been really impressed with the way Clay's gone about it, sort of bowling 2 overs in that power play, and now having another role outside of it.
If you're an Italian batsman here, look, call a spade a spade. You're probably not winning this game unless something freakish happens. What sort of some goals you would try set yourself? What are you trying to do? I sort of feel like you don't achieve much if you go at 100 strike rate. Set yourself to go at 120 and walk off with a 40 off 30 or something like that to impress the coaches, as Floyd will continue, and just a single out to the leg side. Good mopping up out there. Yeah, I just think it's an opportunity. You still impress your coaches. You might not be able to get to the runs, but put your hand up and show you belong in the T20 format.
Yeah, I think you're probably spot on, Corey. You're probably got to have like a score in mind that you're trying to get to. Yeah, obviously not easy. I'm not sure what Gareth Berg we want to see, but you probably want to see some intent.
Yeah, intent's the right word, I think. There's no harm in playing some shots along the carpet. It's a very fast outfield. Yeah, it's probably not looking great for the overall total, but set yourself some mini goals and get yourself some valuable time at the crease where you show what you can do.
Yeah, spot on there.
It's Floyd keeps hunting those 3 wooden poles, and no, it hasn't always been 3 poles. The game actually began with 2 and 1 bail, for those that don't know.
You're not just a cricket commentator, you're also a absolute historian of the game, Corey.
Yeah, there was an old story actually as to why it got changed. It was Freddie Bollington that bowled the ball actually through the stumps. The old fable is 3 times in a row, and he said this just isn't good enough. Imagine doing 3 in a row through 2 stumps and a bail, and they ended up getting the 3rd stump added to the repertoire. That's a play and miss outside the off stump, and Floyd, fantastic figures. He now has 3 for 6 at the moment and could only ever improve here, it feels.
Yeah, I like Flip Bossavane in that cover region.
Another wide sort of carom ball out there, and another poor little shot as Floyd races through another over. Netherlands are miles ahead in this one. The score after 7, a sedate 3 for 25.
Yeah, bowling well. Clayton, 3 overs, 6 runs. I mean, generally, if anyone's doing that for your team, you're in a very strong position. So we're going to see another change on the bowling from that top end, Corey.
Yeah, it looks like the changes will be coming, and you can understand why. And there's a familiar face, and Ryan van Niekerk's come down from national training. Plenty of the Dutch coaches have come down, and players and captains. Good to see. Philip Bossavane, bit of leg spin.
Did you want to have a couple of words with Van? He looks quite keen to come in the box.
I'd be pretty keen.
I'm not sure you want to let him loose on the director's kit, but nonetheless, I'll bring him in for you, Corey.
Yeah, bring him in for me, and thank you very much, Piers Fletcher, coach of Netherlands A. Looking forward to maybe some post-game words from him, and we'll welcome straight into the box on this blustery sort of day, Ryan van Niekerk. Ryan, good afternoon. How are you?
Corey, good to see you again. I'm very, very well. The sun is shining, which is something I haven't said too often in Holland over the last 6 to 8 weeks, but it is shining, and you've let go Piers Fletcher with 1 title. The man, he wears many hats in the Dutch system, and I think he's not just the A-side coach, he's the under-16s, the under-18s, he's the VOC player coach. Man wears many hats, but very good man indeed. So thought I'd break up the Australasian.
Well said. We'll just continue the Southern Hemisphere, Pat, though, as Bossavane will come in. Nice start from him. And well, you must be pleased with how the A-side's taken on the challenge of Italy over the last 2 days.
Absolutely. I think it's just a great opportunity for a lot of these young players in the system. We've spent the last 8 weeks really putting time into everyone with their different skill sets, and great to see some quality opposition come over to the Netherlands and take us on, and some great performances. Great to see young Shariz Ahmed with the bat today. We normally talk about him with the ball, but he's been working hard at his game, and he just played a quality knock again.
Yep, quality batting, and it backed up what Teja Nidamanuru and Musa Ahmed did at the top of the innings. Bossavane drags that one down a bit. That's crunched. Unfortunately, he's going to pick out the man of the hour. Is that Shariz? No, that's Teja out there at deep cover. But tell us a little bit more about the squad. There's been a lot of questions coming in earlier, and I can go back and ask you those questions now because we'll get a coach's perspective. And
sure.
A little bit on Kroos and Levitt have been two names that have been asked a bit about, as that's jammed out. But yeah, so two new guys in their first call-ups to the national team. Tell us a little bit about them and why they've been picked.
Yeah, look, I think there's a certain style of play that we want to go to the World Cup with and execute, and those two young players have certainly come into the start of the Dutch cricket season and shown what they're worth. Noah's a keeper. Wow, that outfield's great fielding.
Yeah, Musa Ahmed doing some great fielding down the leg side, and looks like it will be signalled leg bye, so 3 leg byes.
So yeah, I think just in terms of the balance of the squad, Noah is the backup keeper first and foremost. I think from our point of view, having someone that backs up Scotty in that department is really important with such a big tournament and so many games with very short turnarounds. He's come into the club system here in Holland and really put in great performances for VCC. Which is fantastic to see. And then Michael Levitt has sort of come onto this burst onto the scene. He has got 200s in warm-up games prior to the season starting, and then another 200s in the league phase. Which, when you talk about bashing the door down, that is
runs of currency, aren't they?
Absolutely. And then on top of that, we've looked at our bowling come the qualifiers now, and Mike also brings a bowling element, which is something that we're looking more than sort of his top order batting, is looking at his ability to hit the stumps, bowl wicket to wicket, and just have his different variations, especially in Zimbabwe. So just in terms of the balance, two guys, one both in form, and secondly just in terms of what we're looking as the type of cricket we're looking to play, they seem to have fitted the mould a little bit more than a couple of other guys.
Yeah, fantastic and exciting for those two young players to get their first national call-up to such a big tournament. As Sebastian Brutt, who is captain, will come in, and nice little start for him as it's tucked away off the hit for one. And another man I want to talk about has taken 3 wickets here, Clayton Floyd, who was been a bit in and out, and there's been Peter Saylor left arm off spin, we've had Tim Pringle, even Julian DeMay left arm off spin a few years ago. Gets a call-up, and I think it's pretty well deserved. He's a good player.
Absolutely. He's, funny enough, been the leading wicket taker in Dutch, second, top 2 leading wicket takers in Dutch top class cricket in the last few years. So certainly put in his time. A really good fielder as well. Covers good ground and can is very handy with the bat too. So I think especially in Zimbabwe with the way we think the wickets are going to play. Left arm spin, bowling into the stumps. He's a really good power play bowler. Seems to bowl well with the new ball. Can bowl well in the middle overs, and could be an option at the death as well. So I think just versatility as a spinner, as well as ability to hit the stumps. Being a left arm spinner is valuable for us. So great that he gets a chance to come into the setup. He's certainly put in the time and deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're the three faces a lot of people were talking about a bit earlier. Scotty Edwards gave them big raps as well. Sebastian Brutt, all the threes, 33 for 3 here in the beautiful Voorburg. And That's pulled away gorgeously, and that's going to go the whole Malachi. 6 runs, first shot of some real intent. I know it hasn't been the 2 days they won, but that's a nice shot from the Azuri.
Beautiful cricket shot that, pulling off the front foot there, picked the length early and got into position. So not quite the length Saba would have been looking for there necessarily, but great cricket shot.
What's your thoughts on the old hybrid wicket? It's different, isn't it?
Very different. It's been a little bit up and down, and I know Tom won't like me saying that, but no groundsman likes his pitch critique. But no, it's been an interesting wicket. Yesterday at VRA was a bit of carry and bounce,
Yep.
Which was fantastic to see. So yeah, really nice wicket, and be interested to go and have a look at it. Actually, I'm keen to just see what it looks like at the surface.
Well, they do last a lot longer, and could be an option for a lot of European cricket nations, as that's punched straight to cover. And Netherlands, they keep control of this fixture at the moment. At the end of yet another over, that's 9 overs gone. The score is 39 for 3 for Italy. So this game sort of a little bit meandering out at the moment, but also we got to see that with the qualifiers, we got to see the teams and the groups have come out happy, not happy. Doesn't matter. Does it go into a coach's mind?
Look, I think yeah, it's hard to say happy, because I really do think that they're 10 quality cricket sides.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to say we're happy that we're in one group or the other. I do feel like they're very evenly poised groups, and with the structure of how the qualifier is going to go, every game has importance on it, with you carrying your points through to Super 6 should you get through. And so from our point of view, we actually very fortunate in that we get to play Sri Lanka and Ireland and Scotland all in warm-up fixtures prior to, and they're all in the opposite group. So it does give us a really good indication, should we get through, of potential, beautifully bowled there by Philippe, but it does give us a good opportunity to look at potential matchups should we go later into the tournament and play those teams. So no real bonuses of being in any side of the draw. Great shot.
Sorry to interrupt you. That is a great shot. Does the breeze hold it up? Oh, it does, unbelievably. And I think it's actually going to be spilt over the rope, maybe for a 4 or a 6. We'll have to check. When I was with you when he first hit, that sounded good, but I think that breeze has held up. It's going to go for 4.
Straight into the heavy breeze, yeah. And I've been known to preempt a couple of good shots that ended up being wickets, so maybe I shouldn't say too much.
Rule 1 of commentary: you can't preempt when the ball's in the air. But I'm not too sure. That might have been levered out there. That ends up spilling that one for 4. Nice shot for the Azuri here, and a little bit of a play and miss now. No, that's good. Geez, sounds like you've got it all wrapped up in a nice little bundle. You get to play the opposite group, and I think the key is, because you have to take your points over into the Super 6, you're going to have to play good from the start. You can't go in there with nothing.
Absolutely, and I think that's there's huge value in these warm-up games. That pre-tournament just gets everyone kind of, I suppose, feeling out what each squad has in terms of their depth and in terms of their options, which is fantastic. And it also, certainly for our side, we were talking about our preparations. We've had great preparation. It's just difficult to find quality grass wickets. Another great cricket shot.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a little bit better from the Italians. That's a full ball outside off, and he leans on a gorgeous drive for 4. That does bring up the 50, and that does end the over. Doesn't bring up the 50, sorry. It's 49 for 3 after 10.
But getting quality grass wickets out here in Holland with the weather as it has been quite difficult. So the fact that we have 4 warm-up games prior to the tournament starting is going to be really good for us to sort of get some time under the feet.
Yeah, nice. Absolutely. How have you been going with acclimatising to Dutch life? I saw you for lunch the other day. Pretty good.
We did indeed. It's no, look, Holland is a beautiful place. Hasn't been a lot of time in between training, I must be honest. But with our training being as spread out as it is, we do get to explore sort of Rotterdam, Amsterdam and The Hague, which is...
Have you got a favourite city if you were going to divide the viewers? There's quite a lot of people watching, actually.
I wouldn't say I've got a favourite city. I haven't explored Rotterdam enough, but I have really enjoyed what I've seen. The Hague, if I had to pick between The Hague and Amsterdam, I'd say The Hague.
Oh, controversial.
Only because it seems to probably appeal to my my demographic as a younger person. But the sights and sounds of Amsterdam are always fantastic as well.
Yeah, well said. So that does bring up the 50. Some muted applause for the Italians, but they're getting themselves there after not the greatest of starts. We've got Farina, who's got himself to 18 of 21, sitting at 16 off 20. And I was just saying before, I mean, obviously they're probably not going to win this game, but if you can go and make yourself a 50 off 40 in front of the coaches Gareth Berg and Kevin O'Brien, it can only hold you in good stead.
Absolutely. I was having a chat to Gareth earlier, just around his excitement around the Italian squad, and the stuff that they've been doing and how they've been putting their preparations together. And they've got a great group of 25 players within a broader group, and that they've sort of put together that they're really excited about. And you add to that the experience of a few of the senior players that come back into the setup. They really puts them in a great position from an Italian point of view.
Yeah, plenty to look forward to for Italy. A big ICC qualifier, 2 tickets to the T20 World Cup, and can't ride them out when their full strength as that is flicked away. And that's a little bit of a misfield there, and they should scamper back for 2 if they're aware enough. But well, he makes up for it, and they'll just get the single. No, you're right. It is a big year for Italian cricket as European cricket continues to grow. And tell you what, I think the Netherlands are very thankful that they beat South Africa in Adelaide, because they would be situated in a pretty awkward position T20 wise. It's amazing there's only 2 slots for European countries.
Yeah, I think it's tough, isn't it? But we sit in a position now where certainly from a Dutch point of view, having beaten South Africa and then played Zim in South Africa now in one-dayers, but
yep,
we certainly understand where we sit, and we can compete up there with the best in the world. So now it's all about finding that consistency, and certainly it's a massive 6 months coming up with.
Well, that's it. It's in the air. This should be caught. Looks like Nida Manuru's getting under it. Takes a little bit of a fall, but holds on to it steadily enough, and that's going to be a wicket for Sebastian Braat. Looked like an off-cutter to me. Gets it into the pitch. He goes for a flick on the leg side, and that's going to be Singh out for 17 off 22. Nice little innings. Good catch in the end.
Yeah, great catch in the end. Tough with the wind, but he seemed to steady himself nicely, and safe hands as always.
But no, you're right. I mean, with the Netherlands playing so much cricket against higher nations now, you can only go one way with it. And with all these new faces that have been getting debuts and playing in the Super League, and now some new faces going to Zimbabwe, future's bright, isn't it? And Cookie's back.
He is indeed. I'll try and get him on the comms.
Oh
just
boy!
Now, but it's for us as well. If you look at the opportunity that the A side gets as well, they've got a huge fixture list going forward in the summer, which is absolutely fantastic, because we get to build the next group of young players coming through the system. You talk about the Levitts and Noah Crozes and the likes. They get an opportunity to be exposed to high quality cricket, which is always good. And the more we can do that, the more that guys don't feel like they have to come out of top class cricket straight into the national setup, which is generally what happens. So having a pipeline like that, where Pierce has done a fantastic job with the A squad, and we're also doing a bit of work with the under 18s as well, to make sure that it's not just the top 2 sides that get the attention. It's going all the way through to the age group cricket as well. So that'll be a process that this summer is sort of there to nail down, and then come winter there'll be some really exciting plans going forward for that.
Are you staying? As Prufty gets his first ball hit in the air, nice looking shot. He'll get himself away for a single. Bit of mopping up there from Nida Manuru.
That is the plan, Corey. Yes,
that a boy. Hope you're ready for a Dutch winter. That's the only thing that will probably test you out a little bit. And the end of another over. It's 54 for 4.
Might have to come visit you in Spain. The rate this is going, with the cold winters. Yeah, so
more than welcome to come over to Spain and play us at lovely Desert Springs or down in Alicante. Gorgeous part of the world is the Netherlands. In control of this. Good match practice for him though. Prufty's come out. He's good left arm off spin, and he's batting at number 6 here. And it looks like this might be Levitt. Well,
Levitt.
this is what we're talking about. This little second string to your bow. He bowled really well when you and I were on the air, I think, the other day in the Hurricane Seafarers game, and he's had a big season with the bat for VCC. 400s, a couple in pre-season, a couple during the season as well. So he's earned his way into that national squad, and now he's going to show us a little bit of medium pace, medium fast, we'll say.
No, it's medium pace at its best, but you know, he's very accurate and has some good skills. So it'd be nice to see what he does here in terms of his skill sets and how he can execute. Be very good. Noah's just doing his thing as a keeper here, just making sure the angles are good. But yeah, he's put some time into his bowling now as well, which is good to see. And we've always spoken about guys being kind of versatile and being able to be used in different spaces. Straight on the mark straight away. But yeah, it should be a good spell of bowling here.
Yeah, he's a genuine stump-to-stump bowler, maybe with a couple of rolling leg cutters and some off-cutters. And yeah, Noah's been very impressive behind the stumps as well. His father's been watching from Qatar, it's out in the Middle East. He was messaging before saying quite a fun little story that Scott Edwards and Noah both played with each other in Victoria about 10 years ago.
Fantastic.
So they're going to be now national potential teammates. So that's quite a story, that.
Absolutely brilliant. Didn't know that.
Yeah, didn't know that either. So thanks to, I think it was Ron, his father, that had messaged in.
Lovely.
It's funny where the cricket circles will take you. It is actually amazing where they take you.
Sport in general, isn't it? Sport in general just is an amazing thing, just how different worlds can all just come together, and just through the beauty of any sport, really, not just cricket.
One thing I've noticed about this Netherlands side, and no disrespect to Wesley Barati, who's a good friend of mine, I've known Wesley for years, we roomed together in Zimbabwe for 6 weeks. He's quite young. He's the old boy, isn't he? It's a very young squad you've got at the moment.
It is indeed. Some of the old boys have moved on, but he's one that's sort of hung in there, and it's just he's playing some really good cricket at the moment as well. So fantastic to see. He's got that excitement back into his game, and it's certainly showing in terms of his performances. 120 a couple of days ago for HBS, and another 50. So he's gone. He's starting to roll them out beautifully.
Have you got an average age of this squad? Just looking around, looking at Musa and Sebastian and Floyd, it does feel quite young. It can only hold you in good stead.
I don't have an average age, but I would assume it's sort of 24, 23, 24.
It does, yeah. I mean, a little Shariz, and I think I spoke to Tasia before. I was having a nice little word with him off air. And I said, how old are you, Tasia? 28. He's only just
Also
coming
young.
into his prime. It's quite young.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it's a nice place for Dutch cricket to be if you've got sort of 15 young players coming through the system that are all gaining experience in games like these, and just bodes well for us going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, you can be slightly over 30 or 35 and still hold a bat and do your thing, but it's always good to have that youthful exuberance in the squad, and there's plenty in Dutch cricket at the moment, and plenty of fixtures coming up. Good start for this from Levitt. It's just had exactly what we assumed, pretty straight sort of set field, and he's keeping it straight as well. And I put the kibosh on him because there's the low full toss, and that will probably trickle away for 4. I think VCC takes the cake for quickest outfield I've seen in Holland this summer.
It has. It's amazing what a week of sunshine does, actually, because all of a sudden the outfields have just picked up a couple of kilometres in terms of speed. But it's actually nice. There's value for shots. I watched a game earlier in the season, a club game. I won't mention where, but I watched a club game where everything that the players had been working on so beautifully, they were doing absolutely to a T. But the problem was the outfield was so long that their value for shots was being absolutely limited. So
Okay.
It's nice to see them get the value for shots, and I think with the toughness of the wickets in general, being a little bit slower and damp, you really want some value for shot in the outfield. So great to see a nice quick outfield out here, and batters getting their values.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how much you got to see in the first innings, but Musa Ahmed and Tasia Nidamanuru were basically leaning on drives, racing for 4, sort of very similar to Australia and South Africa, sort of feeling T20 matches where if you split the gap you get the value which you always want to see. And looks like here comes a man that's had a good day with the bat, extremely talented with the ball. Shariz Ahmed, leading wicket taker in the top class of this year. This is his
3 fifers and a 4-fer in his last 5 innings.
Yeah, hang up your boots, young man. Won't get much better than that as he comes in for his first, and it might get much better as it's going to spin. Well done from Tasia.
I don't think I'm allowed to say that on commentary.
Just about. That's rule number 2. You can't be saying catchy. You've got to be neutral in here. You've got to get behind the Azuri as well. Then you owe them one.
Absolutely.
No, good to have them out here. Good to keep expanding European cricket. There's a couple of changes to the field. Looks
We've
like.
also got Chennai coming next week, so Italy 1 week and Chennai the week after.
Tell us a bit about that, because I've heard a bit about this. Not too sure what's what. You know a lot more than me. Give us a bit of a background.
No, we've these franchises around the world, specifically with that's out.
Yeah, well, that is out, and he does exactly what he does. It's sort of that rolling top spinner, legs off spinner. I mean, you've got to be telling players in the dressing room, play straight against him, and he picks up another wicket at this VCC ground. What a player!
Oh, absolutely brilliant. If I had any advice for the Italians right now, it's just play him like an off spinner.
Yeah.
That's his most dangerous delivery. But nonetheless, I think he's kind of in the form of his life at the moment. So just hope he can continue it throughout the tournament coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. But yeah, tell us a little bit more. So Chennai Braves, I believe it is.
Chennai Braves.
So
are coming
they're
over.
touring here. Okay.
So they're touring Europe in general,
Yeah.
not just Holland. I think the franchise system as it is fantastic in terms of they're expanding to the Middle East. They're expanding to South Africa. They've expanded to America now. So essentially their squads aren't just limited to their IPL squads. Their squads are now sort of 40, 50 deep.
Wow.
Of really quality cricketers. And so, as we're doing with the A side and the Italians are visiting here, so it is to give the broader squad exposure. And I think from a European cricket point of view, the more teams like Chennai, Rajasthan, all the sides all the franchises that have bought franchises overseas, the more they travel and tour and expose their players, the better we can get. And also just opportunities. If a young player like Shariz Ahmed does well against a team like Chennai, you just that's wow.
Yeah, well, sorry to interrupt you. That's a little bit more of a loose stroke first ball, and I know there's intent, but I think the coaches will know that's a little bit too much intent very first rock. Shariz Ahmed, who, well, apparently loves bowling at VCC, has 2 and 2.
Yeah, no, this he could end up with the last 4 here very quickly. But as I mentioned, guys like very talented players like Shariz could do really well against a Chennai franchise or someone, and opportunities for European cricketers to play against franchise teams like that is just huge.
I've got a question for you, not to put you too much on the spot. You've been involved in some franchise cricket, yes?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts then on the expanding T20 frame and how you read articles, Jofra Archer might get signed for a year and then we will let him release for England? Starting to get topsy-turvy. Put you on the spot a little bit. What are your thoughts?
I'm a traditionalist at heart. I really do love Test cricket and the skill that it requires, and also what it represents as a player to be able to get through 5 days of high skill and quality cricket. So I really hope that they look. I think it's inevitable that the franchise cricket system will take over, very much like the Premier League football.
Yep.
And European football with the Champions League, and I do think that there is space for international cricket to still be a huge part of the calendar. I just hope players still feel the pride and kind of the value of playing for their country as an opportunity. I think there's just the world of cricket is obviously growing more and more with America coming onto the map, and I just think if we can somehow find a window of sort of 3 or 4 months in the year where Test cricket is prioritised. We know T20 cricket's here to stay with the franchise system, so you can understand that, and rather than stop it, try and embrace it. Coexist. But I do think that I do hope, I really say that with hope, that there is Test cricket is here to stay. I do understand that nations like England and India and Australia, with their crowds and everything that they bring in, obviously hold the key to that and the value to that. So as long as they're playing Test cricket, I do think that there's enough excitement and enjoyment around the longer format of the game to have it stay. They just need to get the format and the context right, I feel.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I see similarities a bit between Live Golf and PGA at the moment. I think it's going to coexist. It's a matter of time. People have to get their heads around it, but if you can make it all work, everyone will benefit still, because T20 is is here to stay, and it is actually the game that is putting Italy and these other minor nations on the map. It was only in 2019 when they gave every country T20I status, so all of a sudden government funding started coming into the minor countries because you're playing at the highest level by the ICC. So yeah, there's plenty on the line when it comes to T20 cricket and the growth of the game, as Levitt's going to get another one. Shree's took 2 for 3, as he does, just on the day in the park for the young man. Probably thinks this game's quite easy sometimes.
Yeah, no, but he's also the type of cricketer that will understand that his days are also limited in terms of how well he does so consistently. There's cricket is that way, isn't it? Just when you think you've clocked it and it's going really well, someone hits you for 60 in 4 overs and just reminds you what the game's about. So, but I think there's certainly a space for it to coexist. You certainly don't want to stop your top players going away and earning the money that they can earn.
Correct.
They essentially their own business as an international cricketer. And then obviously the opportunity then to come and represent your country. If they can find that balance, I think it'll be an amazing thing.
Yeah, completely agree. Sometimes that playing both is the best thing individually as well. A lot of people have families and put a lot of time into cricket. You have to get your payday at some stage, just part and parcel of it. So Levitt, with his handy little mediums, continues, and yeah, it is medium. I'm going to give him medium fast. You said medium, I'm giving him medium fast. There's enough there. That's 122. That's medium fast. If you're over 120, medium fast for me.
Corey, I'll drop. if Michael gets an opportunity to get a game at the qualifiers now, most of them are televised, and hopefully there'll be a couple of speed guns around.
It's
if
122.
If it's anywhere around 120, you'll be all over my cell phone, I'm sure. But yeah, it's.
Maybe 112. I'll take 10 off. You've made me worry now. No, he's been pretty handy here as the Dutch keep control of this fixture. And the early wickets and the big partnership earlier in the day have really, really blown this scorecard out. Missouri will have another chance tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. start, earlier start.
Yeah, indeed. Unfortunately, same time as the national training session, so we'll have to miss that one.
Oh, it's a shame. Can't bring the boys down and hit in the nets over there and get the support crew out?
No, we've got an opportunity to be on some grass, Corey. So as I mentioned earlier, I think any opportunity to get on the grass and kind of have the guys using that opportunity is really valuable for us.
Yeah, nice. Well, you better work hard because the rumour mill has it. Barbecue's Friday night and the meat's been bought. So you finally do we spoke about this last week. You are coming over finally.
A lot of talk about it, and I'm glad that talk has turned into some action. And looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's a braai more than a barbecue.
What's the difference?
Barbecue is either gas or it's a gas fire. Whereas a braai is wood and charcoal.
Beggars can't be choosers, and
no,
as long as the meat's cooked well.
No, there's a definite taste difference. I've got a South African umpire sitting right here next to me, and he'll certainly attest to that. There's a difference in the taste, but nonetheless, we'll take what we can get, as long as we are all together having a good time.
Yeah, flicked around the corner. They might think 2 here if they're sharp, but yeah, good running. That's better from the Azuri. You've got to go there. It's big boundaries. They get 2s. Bertus de Jong chimes in. Average age of the Dutch squad is 26 years. There you go. He's probably sat there with his little Excel sheet. Bertus.
Fantastic. Thanks, Bertus.
He's good like that.
Very, very good man. I've seen him posting a lot on social media around the qualifiers.
Oh, he loves it. He loves it.
I love reading his tweets, just trying to understand a little bit more about associate cricket. Certainly very informative.
If you want to know who the biggest cricket badger of associate cricket is, it is Bertus de Jong. He loves associate cricket. He writes plenty of good articles for Crick Buzz and Crick Info.
No, he is a fantastic voice for associate cricket and for cricket in general. I think there's a lot of the time, sort of the cricket world just needs a little bit of education around what's happening in the smaller regions, and he's certainly a fantastic voice for everyone.
It's one of those things, isn't it? Once people start to learn about associate cricket, it's actually quite a niche little love you get for it. The trials and tribulations and some of the games that these countries play determine funding so much and years of exile and coming back. And I remember hearing a story years ago about the Dutch lost a random game to Kenya in New Zealand, and that was it. They didn't get ODI cricket for 4 years, and it was just a bad day, and that's it. So there's always so much on the line for these smaller nations. It's Philip Bossavane. He's going to come in, and I'd like to see the Azuri here have a bit of a go at the back end.
Yeah, I think it's tough to find a balance at the moment when you 69 for 6, it's always difficult because you could be 80 all out, or or you could show some good intent like that and play some good cricket shots in general, and just good fielding in the end, good running.
Good fielding, good running. Good to see. That's what we want to see. Even if it's along the carpet,
Yeah.
just a couple of too many balls for me this innings where just that forward defence, just let the hands go a bit, hit the deep fielders hard along the ground. But they'll learn so much from this. This sort of, it's not. I know the Italian side, it's not full strength right now. This is a little bit of makeshift, and they've given some guys a go. But they'll learn a lot from playing on turf wickets and playing such a good opposition.
Yeah, absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, speaking to Gareth, it's great to see their sort of broader squad of 25 all get an opportunity and really kind of test their skill sets. You mentioned the same thing as that we struggle with here in terms of grass wickets and some guys playing on grass for the first time. These games like this are just such big value. Not that the result is not relevant, but I think just for guys to get opportunities and just see the standard of cricket that is required is important.
And just good to run around on perfectly adequate facilities. I've been to Italy. I did some commentary there last year in Milan and Bologna, and I credit to the players because they were running around on an outfield that's just got rocks, and the pitch is variable and very difficult place to play cricket. That's a gorgeous shot, and that's what I mean about hitting the outer ring. That's good. That's 2 with a little fumble, but yeah, to go from that to this, you're only going to benefit. You're only going to learn. Beautiful parts of the world cricket over in Italy. The ground in Bologna, there was this factory up the road called the Fico Food Factory, and they did buckets of gnocchi for €4.
Wow.
And I came back about 10 kg heavier, so the food and the cricket was good over there.
No, I tell you, this the food here in Europe in general is just
Big fan?
absolutely incredible.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, no, I've managed to sneak into Antwerp for a day.
Yeah, okay.
Over the last week and just explored the city.
How did you enjoy Belgium?
Oh, fantastic. I've managed to be in Brussels before and Bruges, and so it was great to be in a different city and explore the sights and sounds. But yeah, the food is just something else, and enjoyable experience.
Yeah, absolutely. That takes us to the end over. That's a better over for the Azuri. Hitting the ball hard along the carpet, hitting the outfielders. They get 7 or 8 off it, and hopefully they can have a good close here. Do you want me to let you go? Or are you going to stick on through me? You've been here a while now.
No, I see Ryan Cook making his way slowly around the field there with the head coach. I don't know if he's going to get here on time.
I can't put the head coach on for 1 over. I'll save him for tomorrow. Is he coming down tomorrow or?
No,
you've got training.
I think you might have to get him on now. There might be a few questions for him, to be honest.
I can imagine. Well, it's a big day for Dutch cricket. 50 over qualifier just around the corner. Plenty going on as Glenn Floyd looks like he's going to come back in. He'll be thinking maybe a potential Michelle Pfeiffer. He's got 3 for 6.
He bowled exceptionally well with a new ball, as he does. That seems to be a role that he's taken on beautifully. In the last 2 years or so.
You know who he reminds me of from the Windies? It's that Akil Hussain. Bowls with the new ball, gets it to swing, asks the right questions, and this fast outfield, it's a cruel game. It's a good ball, it's an edge, and it'll go for 4. One of the quicker outfields we've seen this year, and that's going to hurt those lovely figures just a little bit.
Bowler's worst nightmare, that is outside edge, trickling away, so good delivery, but nonetheless, good intent by the batter, and I suppose sometimes good intent needs to be rewarded with a bit of luck.
No, you don't. You got to make your own luck, don't you? And this is this little partnership brewing here has been quite nice to watch. So that's hit well again, and they'll think about 2 out to Boris Gourlay, but they will just settle for the 1 this time. You were a bowler in your day, and if there was an edge for 4, was there a few? How would you handle it? Profanities, or are you quite a calm bowler?
I don't know if any of my friends are watching this at the moment.
I hope so. You can't lie. We're live on air.
No, I can't lie. I had a nickname called. My nickname was Red Mist, where back in the day, and so I've had to calm down a lot as a bowling coach in terms of my feedback to my players, and it's in my youth I used to be an angry man when I bowled. It wasn't very quick, so I had to do something else to try and create a little bit of something. So no, it was I certainly hated an edge. I just hated going for runs in general. Anything under 3 I was okay with. I generally needed to be around the two runs and over mark.
Yeah.
I was wasn't the calmest of fast bowlers.
Red
and
mist.
Red mist.
You don't seem red mist at all. You seem white calm mist.
That's what happens when you have a family and kids. You've got to calm down a lot and be you got to try and keep things as calm as possible. But no, coaching's taught me a lot, and it's been amazing to kind of grow in that space and teach the bowlers I work with to be a lot calmer than I was.
What would your coach you tell to 21-year-old you? That's a good one.
It's a very good question. Probably just to try not to fiddle too much. If you've got something good, and you know, and you're fairly consistent at it, try and make sure that you can consistently work at that. I feel like as a young player I fiddled around too much. I try to become a lot of things instead of focusing on making sure I was really good at what I had, which in the end, as I sort of got older, realised I needed that more than all the extras that I was trying to add to my game. So probably telling my 21-year-old self to just try and build some consistency in what I had, rather than try and be something else.
Yeah.
So that would be it right now.
Yeah, fair enough. That's wise words, isn't it? From an older you to a younger you. It's a good little partnership brewing here for the Italians. Good to see this as well. Prutivi and Batamello batted quite well. Prutivi, I liked his left arm off spin before as well, so showing he's got a bit in the locker is Sebastian Brutt from Hermes Cricket Club. Netherlands A comes back into the attack. That's a nice looking shot. Hit it hard out to the people out there and push the two. Good to see. I reckon they could have gone there as well.
Not so sure. Moose is a quality fielder
in
his own right.
Can't be a biased commentator. Come on.
No, I'm giving you the inside track here around some of the national players, but he's a quality fielder. So.
Who's got the best arm in the Dutch setup? If you say who's got the best cannon?
I would say Vikram Singh is a fantastic outfielder.
Shot. That is a great shot for TV. Well, his left arm off spin was pretty effective before, and now showing he can hold it with the bat. Nice shot.
Vikram Singh is a quality fielder in the outfield. He's got an absolutely fantastic arm. An underrated arm is someone like Aryan Dutt.
Yeah.
When he really gets it right, he can throw rockets in from the boundary.
Are you allowed to say who has the worst arm? Probably not.
No.
Scott Edwards.
Luckily, he's the keeper.
Yeah.
But no. We've generally fielding is something we really sort of put time in and pride ourselves on, and so we had the highest catch percentage in the entire Super League.
Really?
Across the Super League, yeah. So that's something that's really valuable to us and something we can control. So throwing and hitting the stumps, catching well, that's something we really pride ourselves on.
Well, it's a great stat to have that, because the Super League obviously going over 3 years, and that is a gorgeous shot again. Well, Pativi, who's come out at number 6, he's raced himself to 24 or 15. And about 40 minutes ago, I said, while I was on there with Pitch, I said, look, they're probably not going to get these runs, but what a great opportunity for someone to just put their hand up. You might end up with 40 off 30, but when you've got Kevin O'Brien standing at deem it off, Gareth Berg, who's on the other side, two men with plenty of experience, you can only put your hand up and say, hey, look what I can do.
Absolutely. Young guys in this middle order can really sort of put their hands up here. We've seen some quality cricket shots already, but just a lovely opportunity to get some batting time against a good bowling lineup. And as you've mentioned now a number of times, just some really good quality cricket shots. Nothing too over the top. Just really simple, strong cricket shots, and they're getting good value for it.
Yeah, it's nice to see a good wicket that you can hit through the line of it, and if you break that inner ring, get some value. 100 almost up for the Azuri. It's that hard again. Here's Musa Ahmed, you're rating his arm, and does the mopping up. He's played a lot of cricket, Musa. Good young talented left-handed batsman, batted beautifully today. 2 runs to get to that 100 for the Azuri. Good partnership this as well. Has been tracking along. Good week of cricket experience for them, staying in The Hague, up the road.
Yeah, it's just it's a fantastic opportunity. Our A side has just travelled to Northants as well. Great.
Oh,
shot.
that's
What
a beautiful shot from
creation.
Prithvi. That shot of the innings for me, just a check drive. They've gotten up to 100, and I think Gareth Berg might have found one here. He can play. His little left arm off spin's not that bad either. 100 comes up, and a nice little partnership for the Azuri.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic shot that. And again, just really good, strong cricket shots and getting quality value for it. Fantastic momentum that they've just picked up here in the last sort of 4 or 5 overs.
It makes me look forward to tomorrow's game. I know yesterday, actually, their bowling stood up. They restricted Netherlands A to 130 on a bit of a tricky deck, but nothing impossible. And now we've been able to see a little bit of batting on that. It looks like we are going to get the head coach in for 2 overs just before you go. So thank you so much.
Great to chat again,
I'll see
Corey.
you probably on Friday evening. Hope you're
Absolutely.
ready, and we'll be able to get in the head coach of the Netherlands for at least 2 overs and ask him all the budding questions, because the questions have been flying in today as the national squad came through with the announcement. And we welcome him back to the Netherlands. Ryan Cook, how are you, mate? Good to see you.
Corey, it's very good to be here. I've been listening to your voice over there from Hyderabad, and it's been great to watch the footage that has been going on in the Pro Series, etc. So good to be with you in person here.
Yeah, beautiful, and a good time to get you in as this match against the Azuri of Italy, and Netherlands A comes winding down. I've got plenty of quick questions for you in the next 2 overs, because we've had a lot of people join in today, which has been great. The viewers have been sensational as Rory comes in to bowl the 18th, and that's well bowled and well pushed. Firstly though, how was India? How was your time there, and how was the experience at the IPL?
Epic experience, Corey. Thanks for asking. It was really something that you can't really describe. I mean, an attack on the senses at times in all departments, but what an experience. I mean, just fantastic to be involved in a tournament such as that. The scale, the nature of the support, and just the cricketers themselves, just a brilliant thing to be part of. So a really great experience, and lots of learnings taken away from it, even though the team didn't really live up to the potential that we thought they were capable of.
Yeah, and what about the fans and the crowds? Because every time I turn it on, it's almost as if it's going ballistic. It's almost like a rock concert every single match. Is it just loud, or?
That's exactly what it is. It is a lot like a rock concert. I remember setting up the warm-up and hitting a few catches, and all of a sudden I heard a roar from the crowd louder than I've ever heard anything at any rock concert I've been to. And it was just for MS Dhoni winning the toss against Chennai. So absolutely unbelievable amounts of noise there. You can hardly talk to the person next to you. And one thing which was really interesting for me in terms of the cricketing side was that you had to be able to organise the team in such a way that the captain couldn't communicate with his mouth, especially at any time. So you really needed to be really organised on the field, especially with that new rule that you'd have to keep fielders in the ring towards the end if you didn't bowl your overs in time. So the team really needed to be well organised. It's not like playing out here at VCC where you can hear anything that everyone says.
Yeah, as that's hit high into the air, leg side, diving chance, and I think it's fallen just short of Levitt out there. So half a chance at best, and they will get through for a single. Moving on to more Dutch cricket. Big day, Zimbabwe around the corner. You named your squad. Tell us a little bit about the framework that made you make those decisions. There's some new faces in Levitt and Crows, Floyd coming back in, and then some older heads of O'Dowd, Edwards. What were the main decision makers, and why did you go with this squad?
Yeah, we've been to Zimbabwe in the last couple of...
sorry to interrupt you. That is crunched. Well, we've been saying the Azuri, they've got something in them, and what a little innings this is from Prithvi. He bowled his left arm off spin before. He moves to 35. Sorry to interrupt you. Continue.
He's really batted nicely, hasn't he? It's interesting that he's come in so late down the order, but very good hitting from the Italian number 2. But going back to the squad selection. Obviously, a lot of constraints in terms of the players coming from the counties not being available in the most part. And then obviously picking from a strong Dutch contingent now, which is we've seen from last year's Super League and obviously this year in Pro Series, all sort of making really good contributions. So happy with the squad and the all-roundedness of that squad. We've been to Zimbabwe a couple of times in the last little while and seen how those conditions play, see how they've played in their own conditions and been really successful. And that sort of informed a lot of the selections that we've had around what kind of bowlers would be effective, which kind of batters sort of are going to fulfill specific roles, and yeah, I think we've got a strong squad of those 15 guys going to represent the Dutch in that qualifiers.
Yeah, it looks like a very well-rounded squad and a lot of depth with experience and youth. The draws come out as well. Obviously, as a coach, you don't want to look too much into it, but are you excited about the draw, or was it a little bit, oh, okay, we get the Windies in the group, and what's your sort of feeling on the draw that the Netherlands have received?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. We didn't know how they were going to do it, but obviously had an inclination that there'd probably be the West Indies in there, whichever way they did go. So that was sort of something that we'd preempted. But yeah, I think any of those teams that you're going to play against in the qualifiers are all after the big prize of getting to the main World Cup, and all of them are very good on their day. You know, having been at the qualifiers last year, there was a lot of that, competitiveness no matter which team you played against. So I'm expecting the same thing again, and obviously with even stronger teams, having the Sri Lanka and Ireland and West Indies and stuff there, that'll be really challenging for all the teams, no matter who you play against. So you just got to be prepared, and we are, and we'll make sure we put our best foot forward on each of those games.
Yeah, absolutely, as that takes us to the end of the 18th. 117 for 6. Prithvi's got himself to 41 not out. I think that tomorrow we might see him go up the order a little bit. Good to see a late fight back here from the Azuri. So how long till you go, and what about a little pre-camp? Is there much more preparation? Because I was talking to Van Niekerk about it feels like a lot of prep in the Netherlands, which is fantastic. When you leave, how many warm-up games, and do you play a lot before you start?
Yeah, we got a pre-camp in Pretoria.
Okay, lovely.
We play up against Scotland and Nepal.
Is that at Tusk?
At Tux,
yep,
yeah.
Yep, Tux.
And so looking forward to that. We've got some guys joining us in from there, and that'll be really nice for the guys to get out into South African conditions, which are probably a little more like Zimbabwe than we face here. And then go to the qualifiers in Zimbabwe and play 2 games in Bulawayo against Ireland and Scotland and Sri Lanka. So we'll have 4 sort of proper games against those opposition to start off with, and obviously we've got a few games here in the next week or so. The Chennai Braves are coming to play against us.
Yeah, heard a little bit about this.
We're looking forward to sort of playing against them, and that should be some good competition. And so there's been a lot of games this year in the Netherlands, it seems. I mean, obviously I've just arrived, but from what I've heard from the players and the coaches, there's been a lot of games, and that's fantastic that the guys are getting more exposure in the different formats to be able to play those matches.
Yeah, and it feels like that. Obviously, from my point of view, just being Dutch cricket for a while, it seems like the growing base of players is getting bigger with the Hurricanes and Seafarers. The A team have so many fixtures. Seems like your pyramid of players has grown a lot in a short amount of time.
Absolutely, I think that's something that we really got to work on, which is our depth and getting the guys ready for international cricket. We want to try and bridge that gap between top class of cricket and the international game, and we saw that last year that we were close in a couple of those fixtures that we had against Pakistan and West Indies. And if we can get a bit more exposure into the guys, whether that be A-side cricket or pro series cricket, we'll be able to broaden the base. And if we can broaden the base, then we can push those guys through with some quality coaching and some high performance structure in behind them. So yeah, I think it's going well so far. Still a long way to go, but you've got to knock over one domino at a time.
Yeah, you got to take it step by step, but it seems to be going the right way, as this man on 47 not out. Great innings for the Azuri, who probably about 40 minutes ago would have been having their head in their hands a little bit, but it's come out here, and this partnership's really blossomed up into the 70s now, actually. So a good partnership. And tell us a little bit more about you. Back in Holland, are you moving over? You love the Dutch culture. Is it good to be back? It's been pretty cold.
It is a little cold. It's a bit windy, and definitely not like Chennai or Mumbai. That's for sure, where I've just come from. So I needed to invest in the hoodie here. But I love it here. I mean, obviously been here a lot, and last year it was fantastic to be out here. So obviously looking to spend a lot more time here, and obviously pending with a few of the other franchise things that I've got going on. But very committed to seeing these guys go to the next level. It's been great to work with all the coaches. The players have been fantastic. I love the coaching here. Scotty Edwards, who you know very well, is we've got a great relationship going, and it's a pleasure to work with him. So really looking to try and take this from strength to strength, and it's a great place to be able to try and make a difference, and each of the players really sort of take that on. So a lovely place to coach, and a good environment to be in.
Beautiful. And I said we'd have you for 2 overs, and that's your 2 overs up. So Cookie, pleasure, good to see you, mate, and I'm sure we'll get you on another time later in the summer.
Thank you, enjoy, and thanks for all your efforts in this.
No problem, as we'll bring you home with the last over of the day before I think Pierce Fletcher will start the van up and we'll get ourselves back. The last thing for us to look at is, can Prufty get himself to a 50? He deserves it. He's batted really, really well. And good signs for the Azzurri, as they've come back really well in this one. I think there was a good stage a while ago that they potentially could have been bundled out for maybe in the 80s or 90s, but they've come back well. And at 126 for 6 with 6 balls remaining, can they get themselves to a 135, and can they get themselves a little 50 here to wrap up, which has been a good competitive game of cricket. And it looks like it's going to be Kyle Klein to bowl the final over from the Randwick end. He's bowled pretty sharp, pretty quick, and he's been pretty good indeed. 6 balls remaining in this second T20 between Netherlands and Italy. Here we go. That's well timed and just pushed to Shariz, and smart batting. It's going to get Prufty back on strike, and if you're a cricket lover, you want him to get 50 here. He deserves it. He's got himself in and played some gorgeous strokes. A couple of check drives over cover and a couple of shots straight. And tell you what, he's given the Italians something to smile about when they leave tonight, and I'm sure his coaches will be pretty happy indeed. And the wind has picked up. Been a blustery day here at VCC as it comes to its close. 5 balls remaining. So Kyle Klein, 48 not out. Can he get 2 more? It's well timed, but he's going to find deep mid-off. They could go 2 here. Why not? It's going to have to be a cannon. And they're going to get 2. So well batted, and a warm round of applause from the Italians. And also the Dutchies that are out here watching. He deserves that. It's a good 50 against good opposition. A really talented man. And with his left arm off spin, 2 strings to the bow, handy to have. Might have played himself into a potential ICC World Cup qualifying squad, who knows, but he's done his job. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see him up a little bit higher tomorrow. Oh, and he gets a bit of bat on that. That might race away. It will race away, and it's going to go into the bleachers. Tom de Groot still has it. Still has it. He's going to be called into the 2s this weekend. 4 runs, and you move to 54. They're going to end up with a pretty competitive total of around 140 here. I'll just look back at that start with the bat where they weren't able to get the runs away, and maybe that start with the ball. If they can start well tomorrow, you can't put it past them that they might be able to cause an upset against the Netherlands A team. Well bowled from Kyle Klein. Brings the end to a really good innings. Got a little bit funky with his feet, but he got the Yorker absolutely perfect. And Kyle Klein gets the man out that scored 54. Sorry I don't have the amount of balls, but it was pretty quick in the end. And he's done a good job for his team, for his country. And he can hold his head up high. So can Kyle Klein. Kyle Klein's bowled very well today indeed. Pretty sharp, and nod of approval from Jarks in the umpire's tent. So Privy gets a big round of applause, and he deserves it. Good little innings that. Came in at a tricky time and did everything he needed to do. So a couple balls remaining in this end to a good game of cricket. It's been the batting that's really shone through for the Netherlands. 197, just a little bit too far for the Azzurri, but we've seen signs that there is some batsmen there that, if given the chance, they might be able to cause a little bit of an upset. Hello to Vinny Sander, who says he's been lurking during the series. Mr. Maximo. Gotta love it. Kyle Klein, again, hit hard down the ground. They'll think 2 here. If you touch and go, it's a big boundary. Yeah, they do. It is good running. Direct hit would have been out, but why not? And he takes it on the hand. Oh, it's a bare-hander. He's right. He's taken in the glove. Hopefully he's okay. You'd hope so, considering there isn't many balls left. 1 ball remaining. Getting back for that 2 does mean that Tipatalamoyo will end up with a not out, little red inker. So, last ball of this T20 match. We'll be back again tomorrow, same ground, same place, earlier time, 11 AM. hammered straight, but I don't think he's got all of it, and it should be caught, and it is caught. So Philip Bossavain takes a nice catch off the final ball. Reward for Kyle Klein, who's going to end up with 2 for 15. Pretty good figures. I thought he bowled exceptionally well, and it will be the Dutch that take this series 2-0. 62 run victors, and overall Tasia Nidamanuru and Musa Ahmed with the 50s, damaged by Kyle Klein and Clayton Floyd with the ball. They run away victors quite comfortably, but we'll be back again tomorrow morning. 11 a.m. is the first bowl for our final T20 match between Italy and Netherlands 8. Cheers to everyone out there that tuned in. Cheers to everyone out there that got all their questions in, and looking forward to chatting with you tomorrow. Bye for now.